of mistakes for the first year. I mean, still make mistakes every year, but I think, but hopefully learning as we go and improving things. But we just didn't have any production experience, so we came in kind of knowing how we wanted to write it, but not knowing anything about the casting process, the editing process, working with visual effects, working with a production designer, all that stuff that you need to know. And it's been a steep learning curve.
They would get behind a project and they would give it a solid commitment.
We'd never produced anything for television before. We'd never produced anything for film or internet or anything. We'd written before, but we never produced. So when we went to George, probably it was probably like that bluff where you mistakenly think you have a straight and you actually don't. But we were so confident that I think we convinced George that, well, these guys seem like they really know what they're doing.
I said, I want it done. I want a faithful adaptation of the books. And they said, that's what we want to do.
D&D. Blatantly admitting your incompetence on screen. Anyway, let's begin. So today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently, but we'll talk about it as we go. Anyway, allow me to bring my guests. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Neph. And please welcome.
The current Wolf Lord of the Space Wolves is Logan Grimnar, also known as the Old Wolf. He rules from the Hall of the Great Wolf, together with his Wolf Lords such as Harold Deathwolf, Eagle Iron Wolf, and Bjorn Stormwolf.
All I got out of that was wolf, 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 and wolf.
The Space Wolves are incredibly uninspired.
The ever irascible has returned.
Hello.
Hello, Wolf.
Hey, once again,
one last guest for now, but we might have another one, Count Balerion, coming in soon. But until then, welcome to White Dragon.
Perion of House Targaryen at your service, people.
Welcome.
Hello there.
So, okay, so for answer, it's just above just before the stream, the live stream announcement does have a link to the YouTube stream. It's just above it. I just accidentally capitalized the everyone.
Oh no!
Thing, which makes it so that it doesn't tag everyone. I've changed it so it's just like, no, I gotta change it to tag everyone. If I just change to here, I'm not gonna get all my viewers to come. So that's what I figure.
Yeah. Oh hey, yeah. Kishop, a friend of mine sent this to me over on Discord, and I had to get it.
Yeah. So allow me to welcome some of the people in chat. Please. Welcome, Space Junk, John Lemley, Nihilus Nihilum, Charles Calkins, Nick Brown, Man of Renown, Camp Balerion of House Tatters. Well, I hope to have you on the show soon. And oh, lovely.
It was so ridiculously funny enough.
Yeah. And welcome, Crixus990. I'm glad that you're on the second part. It's very informative. Like a lot. Really, really informative.
Yeah.
You know, the best part about this stream is I'm actually quite awake today.
Alrighty. Well, so this time we're going to be doing something a little bit different, since one thing that we want to kind of avoid is possible copyright problems, because one of the copyrights around like reading other people's copyrighted work, so you can't read the entire thing, you got to comment on it. So we're going to test it out how it goes this time. We're not going to show the book on screen. It's just going to be me reading. And for a lot of it, I'm going to summarize some of the just not so bad stuff. Yes, 200 subs. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to release maybe a couple of the commentaries that we've been working on. I just need to edit them, which is going to be a nightmare.
Copyright right now is like a minefield.
Yeah. Yeah, just to kind of figure out, okay, what are the what are like the best bits of
I'll be back a second.
Oh, hi Johan, good to see you.
Hi Johan.
Hello.
Well, so that's what kind of we're gonna do with this one, just so that we can avoid copyright problems. Because if I would rather not get sued by Mr. Hibbard. I don't know if he cares, but if I get big enough, there's a possibility that it will happen.
And right now he's sleeping. Right now he's sleeping, but the second you get 1,000, you'll be like, okay, time to kill.
Yeah. Well, that and 4,000 watch hours, but we're halfway there already, so...
It's going to take, like, what, a couple more, like, another 200 streams or so? And then we'll get there?
Perhaps.
Let me check. Let me check where we're at. So 200 subs. I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of the milestone quite yet. What?
More Cards Against Humanity?
Probably.
Maybe
like a hangout
those are
stream.
incredibly fun, and I always seem to end up winning those.
Oh, wait, she won last time as well?
Yeah.
I need to join in on one of these.
That's incredibly fun. I'll try hosting a Pretend You're XYZ, and I'll try and end all the expansions I can. It's gonna be ridiculous. I will never forget the moment Neph won the last game with seppuku and suicide.
Yeah.
That continues to be the best combination of cards.
It was just so utterly perfect.
Yep.
It's like the second I really cannot stress this enough. The second I laid eyes upon it, I was like, "This is the winner right here."
Yes, I have.
Or check the comment on the first testing of Cards Against Humanity. You'll see right there. I say it's like I had to pick it.
Yep.
So, in terms of monetization, in terms with watch hours, we are at 2.268
Yes, we're over halfway there. Woo!
Yes. Yep.
I'm out
Thank
of
you, and thank you to. Well, it's only I can see it. It's fine. Basically, I have to. I think people have to watch my stuff for a total of 44,000 hours in order to, and stuff like that. Oh my! That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Oh wait, did it mean I can finally make my Wolf X Neph fiction?
Okay, alrighty. So I'll just kind of summarize. So, since Tamsin Marchant was booted, they needed to get a new Daenerys Targaryen, and they were thinking about people like Imogen Poots, but they decided to have an open casting call to newcomers. Emilia Clarke was 22, recently graduated from a drama school, had only a few small roles, but her agent called her, said, "We got to get you in." Apparently, so this actually quote made me laugh. The part called for an otherworldly, bleached blonde woman of mystery, Emilia said. "I'm a short, dark-haired, curvy Brit. Whatever." I'd say that Emilia Clarke fit the role very well. me personally. So, oh, this is really, really funny. I hate this bit. So apparently she, and this has been verified in other sources. Apparently she was really nervous about if she was going to get parts, so she asked if she could do anything else. And Benioff said, "You could always dance," in that dry, sarcastic tone. Since Momoa did the haka, worked pretty well for him. So Emilia Clarke did the funky chicken and the robot.
What? That must have been a
my
funny
gosh.
sight. Did she do it in costume or was it just?
No, I don't think she could have done it in costume because costumes of Daenerys did not exist at the time.
That would have been funny if it was.
Yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
hilarious.
Like
Yeah.
she's this raggy, blooded character, and she just starts dancing like a fucking chicken dance or something.
Yeah. Okay.
The hell did I just walk back into?
Yeah. So she thought she could have ruined it all since she's not the best dancer. But apparently they liked her so much they said, "Congratulations, princess, you got the role." She wasn't employed. Was barely coming out of three years of drama school that were really intense on her. Trained for 12 hours a day. Wow.
Oh wow.
And she felt like she was the cruelest person she could be to herself since she was training horseback riding, fighting, and not the nudity, but all of the intense things. She vividly remembers that the assistant directors wanted you to know where they were. You were the product. If you didn't turn up, they couldn't do a filming day, and you've ruined millions of dollars in everyone's time. They're like, Emilia's in the loo, or Emilia's eating a cherry, and you're like, what the? In drama school, usually in drama school, she had time to prepare for scene, but she wasn't able, and like writing notes in her little notebook, thinking through like the creative process. She didn't know how to prepare for a scene without conversation with the director. She does at this point, just not then. Okay. What?
That's as green can be.
I've never seen this much green in the entire galaxy.
Well, the issue is, shouldn't the director just approach her? Oh, this is, I guess, funny. Okay, apparently, so I would go off and hide to prepare for a scene. Oh my gosh.
Ouch.
I would crouch behind cars and I'd hear the ADs, assistant directors, being like, "We don't know where Emilia is. Eyes on Emilia."
What? What the hell was this?
What is she doing? Pretending she's in Mission Impossible or something?
I don't know.
Mission Impossible. Why can't I kill a dragon?
I didn't want anyone to know where I was because no one's going to let me do my weird preparations I felt like I needed. I was like, don't screw it up, don't screw it up, don't screw it up. So she, okay, so there's a lot of pressure on her being the lead role in a massive production right out of drama school. She also had the burden of knowing that the first act, that Tamsin Marchant, hadn't met the expectations, and she feared that she was going to get replaced too, just by nature of it. She was like, for the first day, looking silly is not an option. And the only way not to look silly is just to go completely balls in all the way. If anybody's going to look stupid, it's going to be her. But not in spite of her. She was at the time, she said, like, I was too naive to know others messing up was even a possibility. So, okay. That's really sweet. Apparently she received reassurance and support from more experienced actors like Ian Glenn and Jason Momoa.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay, Ian Glenn, this is sweet. What Emilia saying regarding Emilia, one of her great qualities is that she doesn't know how great she is. That also causes her to doubt her ability and causes neurosis. She worries. So I always wanted to be reassuring. She always wanted to talk through the possibilities in a scene. Oh, this is adorable. Jason Momoa. Emilia and I got on instantly like a house on fire. I ran up and gave her a big hug and lifted her up. So, for reference, Emilia Clarke is tiny. She's like 5'2", and Jason Momoa is 6'4".
Wow.
And like, imagine this giant man coming up and picking up what looks like a little child girl and just picking her up. Yeah. Let me see.
Like you're just squeezing her really hard. It's like...
Yeah, let me see. Like, because he's really, really tall. Yeah, he's 5'2". He's 6'4". She's 5'2". He's huge. Yeah, let me see. So, this is her height compared to his.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yikes. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine
Jason
that guy just squeezing on her. Ew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
Go, Momoa.
Wait, what?
Okay, so that's a really amusing story. So basically, there's this hand slap game that Benioff played with Jason Momoa while he was drunk. The problem was he was so drunk he didn't realize that Jason Momoa had broken all the bones in his hand.
Serves him
What a
right for
fucking
everything
dunce.
that came later.
Yeah. Yeah. No joke. They repeatedly bring up that story over and over again. They think it's funny, which it is, but it's kind of just like, this is a red flag. You have a drinking problem. If you don't notice that, you had to be rushed to the hospital. So,
Fucking hell, this guy. We learn something new every day, don't we?
Really?
We seem to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in Dragon Demands. They even made an animated short about it, depicting it. It's
They did what?
Retard.
An animated short. Yeah.
Jason Momoa breaking.
Oh no. I thought you said
Benioff.
raping David Benioff. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no.
So,
Yeah.
so Emilia Clarke, Jason tackled me to the ground and said, "Wifey!"
Oh my god, I found it.
And then the Law and Order theme plays.
Jason Momoa is a giant teddy bear. He's adorable.
Looks like he could kill you. He's actually a cinnamon bun.
Well, that's really true,
Cinnamon
John.
roll.
That would explain why he couldn't write this in the comments. His hands were broken.
Okay. So,
sounds like something from the regular show. You know, Death Punches.
So-
Oh my god, I love regular show.
okay, so they filmed a lot of stuff in Malta since since Essos is more Mediterranean and Asian-like. Apparently, Jason Momoa had a challenging time on the set since his role required a lot of subtle, nonverbal stuff, since he's just basically this giant brute man that only speaks in Dothraki. Apparently, it was very extreme, either freezing or sweating. It was just in leather pants. Apparently, sweating in leather pants is not fun.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Freezing in leather pants is not fun. A lot of people say it was easy. You're just sitting there. It's extremely hard to be intimidating, say everything but not say anything. So one of his first scenes was he had to rode up and look down at Daenerys. He sees her there. Is there kind of right up, make a ground, walk off, and right off. Feeling washing over me that I'd never had. He hadn't had. Okay. In his acting career. Okay. It felt. I remember feeling very, very powerful. It was a cool moment to disappear into something that big of stature. That's cool. So that he cared. Oh, we have another guy. Coming in.
There comes a time when you are so utterly bewildered by the events that are playing out before you on screen that you can do nothing but just laugh.
Were you just killing someone back there, Count Blarion?
Valerion.
I think that he realized that there was an echo. Also, thank you to the 18 people in the chat. If you want to say hi, I will say hi back.
Oh my God,
Stop murdering people, Blarion. Jesus. Well, we talked about this already.
But plug in some, please, if you would kindly plug in some headphones, that would be great.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we're having Valerial difficulties.
No. Take yourself out the door.
If you want to say hi, I will say hi back.
Oh my God, we're hearing the stream back.
Yeah.
I pause it.
I usually.
Valerian, you should probably close this stream and any other tab you have open that isn't in StreamYards, because that's causing the echo effect properly.
Or mute it. That's what I do.
Yeah, smart decision.
Yeah.
I want this thing mute. Thank you. There. Sorry about
Okay.
that. Pardon the
Fine.
interruption.
No, you're fine. Okay. Oh, so it's interesting. Okay, so the weirdest thing about this Kindle is apparently 7 other people highlighted the section of the book that I'm about to read, but we'll have so okay.
Doug, you asked for, and now people are saying hi.
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 Hey, yo.
Hi.
Well,
Hi.
hey, man. Hi.
Hi.
You love flowers. That's the funny
Hidey,
thing.
ho.
You don't even try. Hi.
You say hello, and I'll say goodbye.
He's like so
Alrighty.
totally hello.
So,
It's
kind of,
you're looking for.
alrighty. So, kind of talks about Daenerys' forced marriage to Drogo, becoming something more equitable, like better romance, like a more equal footing. Even Daenerys calling Drogo her sun and stars. Their night together is one of the most notorious scenes in the show. In the original pilot and in the book, the sex is consensual. In the reshot version of the pilot, it's marital rape.
Why? Why?
Why? Maybe it probably just
Okay.
they just cut it out and didn't think of what they were doing. They just cut the bit out where she consents and didn't even think about what they were doing.
Oh, this is terrible. Okay, quote from George R. R. Martin. I'll just read this entire thing because it's really revealing. Why did the wedding scene change from the consensual seduction scene that excited even a horse to the brutal rape of Emilia Clarke? We never discussed it and made it worse, not better. Wow.
Do you tell it like it is?
Yeah. That's like, what the hell did you do?
What? The absolute.
So how is this book supposed to be defending them?
Fuck!
Well, you know my.
Am I missing something here?
Mine.
Oh, please kill me again.
You know my theory though is
I
that
can't because you burn down castles. I can't kill you unless I get behind a stone.
Oh, fuck you.
well my
It was not my
theory-
fault.
Anyway, my theory is that
This is an
The
inside job.
Dragon Demands came and tied up Mr. Hibbard and wrote this book himself. That's the only explanation. That's what happened.
Yeah, since
Confirmed.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Wait, who are you saying that to? Who hit it? Oh,
Mr. James Hibbard.
Yeah.
So okay, so essentially, like in the original reshot, before they reshot the pilot, apparently a horse was getting an erection watching Tamsin Marchant and Jason Momoa have fake sex.
Yeah, it was that even a horse got aroused.
Yeah, apparently.
George R. Martin's like, and everyone's like, got distracted by his horse.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's how they figured out that the horse was a stallion, not a mare.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's weird. Okay, so Benioff and Weiss defend it by saying, filmed it, but it didn't translate well to screen. One part about the plot of the book is that on their wedding night, after their wedding night, Drogo harshly abuses Daenerys till she kind of takes charge of their sex life. Originally, so in the original thing, Daenerys was forced into a relationship with a stranger that rapidly progressed from an initial meeting to consensual sex to abusive sex, then back to consensual again. I kind of like it's kind of weird to kind of understand that bit.
Okay,
yeah, it was like it's in the it was like in the last episode.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Like, listen to our reactions when we read that part.
Yeah. Okay. From Benioff. Benioff said, apparently they originally scripted it pretty much exactly as the book and shot it that way in the pilot. It worked in the book, but after they saw it on screen, it's basically a girl who's terrified of barbarian warlord she's being married to. Not the first, it's something the opposite of what she wants. Yet somehow at the end of this wedding night, she seems to be in complete joyful sexual relationship with him. It didn't entirely work for us. Creatively, it makes sense to us, so we decided to change it. Great.
What the fuck is this?
I have one question. Oh God.
It is actually accurate. At least, like, partially it's like she's writing all day and she's not used to it, and like he just kind of is a little bit brusque with her, and he's not like brutal, but he's just like he doesn't really like he is very gentle and nice to her in the first thing, and then like once that's done, I guess you could say like he wanted to kind of like get her like wanting to like take control more. I guess it's not stated, so it's very
weird.
Yeah, it's very unclear. It's one of kind of the weirder things about the book. So but after like he kind of just acquiesces when she says, "Hey, let's go out but the nice thing is like he gives her some privacy. Like usually like Dothraki like mate under the moon or the sun. They don't care. And for like a while, like they're having like intimate relations in his tent. But then like after a while, they actually go outside, and like she gets training from this WLW. Yeah.
Well, I'd say it's better to be both a weirdo and a writer.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the feeling some days.
This man is not a weirdo. This man does not deserve the title of weirdo. He's a shill.
Yeah.
Unless
that
he's
too.
What is he actually?
Who the fuck knows? He's not even like a real person. It's like an inside job. He's just a made up character.
Yeah, or it fits that. Yeah, the possibility is that this is a double agent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's Dragon Demands his alter ego.
Yeah, I guess so. It is known. This is It is known. This is all right.
It is known.
Apparently, in the second episode, they go back to a less consensual, rougher relationship. In the book, that works, but we didn't have enough time to access to the character's mind. Turns too quickly. It was something that the actors felt wasn't gelling. Okay, and we weren't able to find an emotional handhold. That's a weird way of saying it. Like, that's their words, not mine. Weird. Okay.
Well.
So, okay, when Emilia Clarke came, when Emilia Clarke or Jason Momoa came to them with kind of problems with that, they gave it a lot of thought. Didn't always mean that they would change it, but Emilia mentioned that the wedding night and issues she was having with it, and that meshed with the issues we were having ourselves. Okay. The scenes required nudity, something that Emilia Clarke expressed mixed feelings about. Though later she would staunchly defend the nude scenes. This was all me, all proud, all strong. She said about season 16, where Bear Daenerys emerged from the fiery destruction of base Frack. She's just genuinely happy that I said yes to the scene. That ain't no body double. Wow. She was apparently uncomfortable on set, though, especially in the first season when the production was still figuring out how to shoot scenes effectively, let alone sensitive.
What are directors?
What was that? Say that again, please.
Okay. The production was still figuring out how to shoot scenes effectively, let alone sensitively.
Oh my god, that is so dumb.
Wait, hold on. Did they even have a good director for season 1?
I think they did. They got a bunch of like HBO alumni to direct a lot of these.
Then how are they having these kind of problems? What the hell?
I don't know either.
Simple. Due to sheer effing incompetence.
Okay.
This is some sheer magnitude. Fucking hell. All right, let's continue.
Okay. So she's talked about like that being a really tough time. She apparently had fights on set where I'm like, no, the sheet stays up, while praising Jason Momoa and Glenn for being helpful and protective of her. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Ian Glenn was always very protective of her when she felt exposed because of what she was required to do, making sure that the protocol was followed and everyone knew to treat her with respect. Dang you. Dang it. I love this man. This guy is great. Yeah. She was very apparently she was really desperate to be the most professional actor she could be, and she'd like, sure, at anything she threw at me, I just cry in the bathroom later, whatever, you won't know. Wow. Ow.
That's interesting.
This is some Hollywood shit here.
I don't know why, but I'm yawning.
Yeah. Okay, there's kind of this is interesting. Like, she also pointed out that the male actors weren't as scrutinized for their male scenes as much as she was. I think that's actually accurate. She kind of asked, how many times did Michael Huisman, Darren Harris, been asked about the fact that he's taken off his clothes at once? Is that even a discussion? Even the other male actors were encouraged to script, such as Jason Momoa, Eugene Michael Simon, and Kirsten Nine. Let me see, Eugene Michael Simon. Tell me who he is. Oh, Lancel Lannister, I see. Okay, fine.
Oh, Lancel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was a character in the books.
Okay, so the first sex scene they ever shot was a reshoot pickup between Drogo and Emilia. She gets on top of him, takes charge. Nice romantic scene. Nervous. They never directed anything like that before. Anything for real before. We were nervous because we never directed anything for real before.
Wait, what about the failed pilot?
Oh man, what?
Does it say for real?
know.
Is that what it is? That a quote or is
Yeah.
that you?
Yeah. No, this is the actual
It's hard to
thing.
tell.
Yeah.
Like,
We were nervous because we had never directed anything for real before. It seemed
they
like
never
it
directed anything during the pilot,
No.
like the original. Like, what the hell are they doing now?
Okay.
They're saying they're twiddling their thumbs, figuring out how to scam more money.
So this is the quote. It seemed like it went fine. Afterward, Jason comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you did a good job." He shakes my hand, and I look down. And he put the ... Dead Weiss. It's called a cocksock.
Cocksock? What the?
Yeah, it's basically like a condom, but a little bigger. He put it into my hand, and it had been on his cock the entire scene.
Yeah, it's a fake.
And he put it in Data Benioff's hand.
It's a typical fake phallus.
Lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is hilarious. So I'm gonna read the whole thing. Okay, Jason Momoa. That was because David had been like, Momoa, just take it off, giving me crap. Sacrifice, do it for your art. I was like, screw you, bro. My wife would be pissed. That's for one lady only, man.
Get fucked, David. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David and I love giving each other crap. So afterward, I ripped the thing off and kept it in my hand and gave him a big hug and a handshake and was like, "Hey, now you have a little bit of me on you, buddy."
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I'm totally laughing, but also like cringing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Oh, why would you write this like this in an academic book? And then there was the time that Hodor unexpectedly ran naked into a scene.
That wasn't played at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
unexpectedly, what? But why?
Why was that included? That was just a scene.
But why did he do it? Was
I
it
don't
just
know.
did Michael just
Okay.
randomly feel like streaking that day?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Well, you know.
Typical.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so Kirsten 9 was asked if he could do a nude scene. First, he asked if there's a child in the shot, which there was. So I asked if I could wear a prosthetic. I said yes. He was apparently really, really scared, but he did it because the whole body positivity thing. Since Game of Thrones, a lot of people of different sizes, probably more than any show ever. Very busy day on set, which is the opposite of what they told me. Wow. I apparently a busier set was never seen by him. Got the prosthetic painted, weaved into his own body hair. It was liberating and mortifying.
Yeah.
There was a lot of laughter on set that day, apparently.
Who is he playing again, though? Is this
Hodor.
handsome?
This is Hodor.
Oh, okay, right how.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Apparently, okay, David Benioff, equal opportunity nudity. There's a line in the book about Hodor having a line of the blood of giants, and you need to see him for that line to play. We didn't want to do the coy Austin Powers joke while he's covered up by a French baguette or something. What?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't know either. It's just a weird statement to say. I don't understand it.
Why do these stupid things need to be here? And I don't know what. Brain, why? Explain.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This is a very strange section of the book.
Yes,
We're talking
it
about
is.
actor nudity. We're talking about
The whole
like,
book has a strange section.
Talking about penises and shit. What the fuck is this? We turned into like the weird section now.
Okay,
Yeah, well, it's
and now
just
time
like-
for the Lord Catton's porn hour.
Oh no.
well, it's just like it's weird because like they did it first. Why is James Hibbard like? I guess like you kind of have to because Game of Thrones is HBO and it's basically butts and boobs and penises galore all over the place. But
Laughs in Spartacus.
Just the sight of off-putting.
Doesn't mean you
Yeah.
can't. Doesn't mean you
Okay.
should shove it in our faces all the damn time. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Okay. Apparently the
We
team
get
will
it. You're immature.
Okay, so he's teasing us now. Apparently So the the Thrones team will have more to say about the show's sexual content later in these pages. Okay, thank you. Okay, for Daenerys, for Daenerys, she becomes pregnant while her really awful brother Viserys gets frustrated and marginalized because of the experience. Talking
Which
about
was obviously a sign of her madness.
Yeah, apparently. Like, okay, one night he gets drunk, threatens Daenerys, so pours a coil of boiling golden liquid onto his head. Apparently, it's a decisive moment for Daenerys, who stands up to her tyrannical brother, but it's also the first glimpse of a dark and steel resolve within the character. He was no dragon, Daenerys intoned as she stared impassively at her dying brother. Fire cannot kill a dragon. Title drop and clap and leave.
So why did they make the line that supposedly proves Dany is going to become evil the title of the book?
I don't know. Okay, Emilia Clarke was like, "You want me to do what?" Okay, so this is the ultimate power play, right? I need to hide behind some cards and sit it with this for a second and figure out what this is. So my loyalty is not my husband. Viserys is my brother, my family. How can I wrap my young brain around? No, this is inside David Benioff and D.B. Wise's brain.
It's a dissection of the mentally ill.
Yeah. It's inside their what?
Brain.
What?
Assume that they have brains.
I mean, brains. It's not penises. Don't worry.
I would say that'd be an interesting experience to dissect someone's brain, but in this case, to Benioff, I'd rather not.
There's probably nothing there.
Probably not really. Probably just a bunch of porn videos.
Cut open his head. Just what I did find here.
And a bunch of emoting
with a lot of ambiguously brown women.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just mug their faces a lot for some reason.
Which is weird that he didn't include Taina Merryweather, which is I'm interested to see what his idea with that one is, because
why did he include Ariana Martell?
Yeah, because Ariana Martell is let me show the chat. Yeah,
a little bit like Delilah.
Yeah, she's described in the book as basically the quintessential South American Brazilian bombshell, I guess.
Hot dang.
This is Ariana Martell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't want to have a night with that one?
Now, here's a fun fact. Before she was this beautiful, she was ugly.
Yeah, she was chubby.
Yeah.
She was a chubby girl. And then she grew up, and then she got hot, apparently. Yep.
No.
Okay, so she was having trouble wrapping her mind around the dichotomy of family member.
There's only ambiguously done women in David Benioff's head.
Oh, dear, right in his head.
Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, no.
Okay, what you're thinking about what it was like to be a kid abused for her whole life? How on earth can you have the wherewithal to rise above the only thing you've ever known? Take fresh air and go, well, my life is built on a lie. This was the education that Daenerys might end up feeling later on. Okay. So Peter Dinklage talked about Emilia. What was really impressive of Emilia in that moment was it wasn't mean. It was just you're dead to me. If it was mean, it wouldn't have been as effective. It was gone. She had this new person in her life that, for some weird, crazy reason, she was starting to fall in love with. That was the thing that was neat about the show. Relationships start horribly, grown to love, vice versa, etc. She was amazing because it was very tricky to do. Because she could have said, "Screw you, you deserve it," or go, "She doesn't deserve that," but neither. So she got into this in between place that was so terrifying, and her transformation in season 1 was really incredible to him. So she was like, it was she was like, shouting didn't work in that moment, anger didn't work, it moves mountains, but can move mountains, but a woman doing that, it's perceived to be irrational, hysterical, over the top, and you white nose it out to some extent. So the only thing to do is become the most powerful person in the room, and the most powerful person is usually the person who's most still. That's where a lot of the stealing of the character came from. She was like, this is harder, but this feels good, because Khal Drogo can't look at me. He can't enter his gaze away from the fact that I'm fully able to watch a family member die in front of me and not even blink. Okay, interesting. Okay, apparently it presented a technical challenge as well, since the death of Viserys was largely created using practical in-camera effects instead of CGI. Harry Lloyd had hidden pipes that pushed a bubbling stream through tiny holes in his wig. It wasn't easy to pour the molten gold over his head. Very expensive wig. We were only going to be able to do one take of this, so they had to get it right. He was really Harry Lloyd was worried about drunkenness looking ridiculous. The night before, he was watching YouTube videos of drunks for research.
What?
Wait, what?
Videos of drunks for research? Did I hear that right?
Oh, yep. Drunks. I used to like drums or something. Like, what?
Drunks. And apparently, he wandered around the hotel corridor trying to stumble right. I imagine that was very, very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. When time came, he was outside the tent in the freezing cold in Belfast with a hot toddy, which is honey and tea, a little whiskey from the hotel, put some in there. Apparently, okay, the vulnerability in the scene came naturally because it was freaking scary. Oh, that's interesting. Jason Momoa was apparently kind of nervous, even though he's usually unflappable. Apparently, before the shot, Jason caught his eye, held up his hand. Apparently, the hand was trembling. Interesting. Jason was really nervous and didn't want to mess it up. So the gold jewelry was made of wax, threw in the cauldron, started to melt, switched out the cauldron for the next shot, bubbling viscous liquid. Jason just said, "Are you ready? I'm going to do it." There are moments when you're Jason Momoa. There are moments when you're really free and out of your head. You're really into the character. You don't have any anxiety, feeling in the zone. That moment's 100% of that. I remember reaching out and holding Emilia's belly, then having my back to carry it, and saying the word where the Dothraki grab him, and I was trying to be calm and collected. Drogo's nonsense. He's done this kind of thing 1,000 times. This is interesting. I remember Harry Lloyd talked about, he talked to a doctor before this. He said that dying was from the gold piercing his brain, and it would be like a single scream. Then on the day I was told to scream and make him more demented. It felt like a frickin' rush. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Jason got really excited when he poured it over the head. I just started watching him. I think Drogo would enjoy watching people's expressions. Watching him scream going over his mouth.
People's expressions.
He started to say, well, it's just the actor. Well, it's just like a part of the character. I think that's fine. It's not when they say it. It's not since Jason Momoa is a professional actor. We haven't. I don't think this is an example of these performances, these faces quite yet. It's just a. It's just. I think that it makes sense.
It just triggers us. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just. It's kind of a
trigger word.
Yeah, it's a trigger word, I guess. Yeah.
Triggered.
The scene in the show is really great. And then he started to smell him with the scene coming up. It was really messed up. walked away from it going, "That's some ancestral crap going on in that scene," and he really enjoyed himself, and it all worked in one take. One unusual moment was when Khal Drogo fights his Dothraki rider Mago, really gory. Fight's not in Martin's book. It's not even in the script. Oh, that's interesting. So Jason Momoa said one thing that was missing from the book is you don't see Drogo fight. That's interesting. So he read the book. Okay, that's interesting.
Sacrilege! How dare he?
Yeah, there's a lot of build-up, and the myth of Drogo is amazing, and George is really great. But he wanted to actually fight, either screw shit up, screw crap up, but like beat something up. That's why he did the haka, so he could see like what would happen if he went into battle. He said, I can make this simple. I can just bob and weave, and then we see his quickness. You don't even have to choreograph me with a weapon. Like he fights him with just his hands. So apparently he had a high batting average of ideas. He went to the showrunners like, we like them, we'll use them. And apparently something he said early on was supposed to be the baddest man on the planet. I got this long brave because I've never lost a fight, never was afraid of me, but no one sees me fright. Isn't that kind of lame? And they said, no, it's good. You're so awesome that you don't have to prove yourself. You're victor of 1,000 battles. Oh, wow. They told him, no, it's good. You're so awesome. You don't have to prove yourself. You're the victor of 1,000 battles, Jason. Go back to your trailer. What? This feels like what they were doing to Nikolai later on. That's really funny. That's hilarious. What the heck? But in this case, like, they changed their mind. It's like, it's strange that the guy doesn't get to do what he does best. Despite the limited budget, time pressure, they conceived the fight scene on the fly.
Oh, that's something that they do a lot.
Okay, so the exact quote is, despite this first season's limited budget and constant time pressure, a fight scene was conceived on the fly.
I wonder what other things have been conceived on the fly. Dorne,
the Battle of the Bastards, pretty most things in season 8. Arya,
White Hunt, probably.
Yeah, the White Hunt, Daenerys's turn to madness, the removal of the Cersei miscarriage that they filmed. They filmed it. They just cut it out and said, "No,
no, she's fine. She's pregnant forever. She's like pregnant for 2 years and doesn't fucking know."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sam's baby is an infant for several seasons, so maybe time just works in weird ways. Maybe that explains why all the teletransporting too. Maybe it's just in a temporal anomaly or something like that.
I guess so, or it's just David Benioff and D.B. Weiss are hacks.
No, it can't be that.
No.
Game of Thrones is his bestest ever. Remember? Media says so.
Interesting. Okay, so the initial setup was Megan insults Daenerys, different fight. Drogo chops off the dude's head, and okay, so apparently, like, Jason Momoa one time had a dream where someone dumped on my wife, and I ripped his tongue out through his throat. Now that is a gentleman that I can get behind.
Yeah, whatever works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is awesome. Okay.
Is that video real? The one where he's watching season 6, episode 6, season 8, and cussing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
that was glorious. That shows we're not alone. Even the actors fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like every other word was a cuss word.
Yeah. So he didn't think he should chop the head off since like it happened so many times. He said, like, I think I can cut his throat open and pull his tongue out through his throat. Let me get a tongue made.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, welcome back, Neph.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. It's like, and so like, the director was like, "Let me get a tongue made then." Yeah. So like they were like, "Nah, we've had too many heads chopped off. Let's have some weird stuff. let's have something messed up." So
Kids are boring.
okay. So for the guy he was fighting, Bulgarian double for horse ride, Jason Momoa. It's like it's a stunt double for riding. Didn't know anybody else, so we didn't have anyone else since it was because it was so last minute. He
Wow.
didn't speak, but needed to have a speech in Dothraki. The producers were like, "You frickin' hired him, you teach him." So I had to teach a Bulgarian how to speak Dothraki when he doesn't speak English, and he did great. I still have that tongue on my desk. Wow.
Wow.
Oof.
Okay. So scratch that he talks about. So it's talking about like how because of the scratch that Drogo gets during the fight, it's eventually going to lead it to him dying. Originally, it was an off-screen raid, a wound. Dany gets her husband to use an enslaved sorceress to pick them up, but which leads to an infection and dies. It's very much a Martin-style twist. An undefeated warrior brought down by a slight miscalculation, his fate sealed by allowing his sentiment to override his caution. Okay. It's awesome what Jason Momoa talking about George R. R. Martin. It's really cool what George. It's amazing what George sets up. You got your lead characters. You're supposed to think about them in one way. You hate them, you love them, then they're killed, and it's a whirlwind of emotion. And all the little kids and even the smallest characters just grow and grow and grow. He's built a really beautiful world. He found playing called Drogo phenomenal. I wish that there was more stuff that he could have done. Okay, that's interesting. So, even though it was a career-making performance for him, it took for a while. Thrones was a hindrance to Momoa. He was so utterly convinced that playing it, he would be struggling for parts after being really convincing as a Dothraki warrior. Oh my gosh. Hollywood producers were convinced that the Hawaiian-born actor either couldn't read dialogue or could only play as strong silent warrior types.
Fucking Hollywood. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Is he
Okay.
Hawaiian or
He's Hawaiian. He's from Hawaiian.
Okay.
He's from Hawaii. He's born in Hawaii.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So apparently he became, but later on he became a fan favorite, and he rose to stardom in Aquaman. Mostly because of them sick abs, but also he's a legitimately charming and hilarious guy.
Yeah.
He is. He is.
Yeah, he's so funny, and so a lot of people bagged on him. It hurt. It hurt. People thought he couldn't speak English because of this. He didn't know. They didn't realize that he was playing a role, and he's nothing like Khal Drogo.
They didn't realize he was
When
playing
you do a role so good, they don't even realize it was
Yeah.
just a role you played.
Yeah.
What? Okay, that Hollywood. You're drunk.
Go home.
Go home.
Go to Hollywood home or something. I don't know.
Go home. You're drunker than I am.
Go to Holly
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. The time that he's most like Drogo is when he's being loving and close to his wifey and being nice.
Wifey.
Kind of the other half of him is not him. But everyone fell in love with Drogo when they rewatched the show, and it's been 10 years and it's like still a frenzy. Now people come up all the time. I'm going crazy about Drogo. Okay. Oh, nice. That's the end of chapter 5.
We're making good progress.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's partially because
Moving along.
I'm summarizing a lot of it and cutting through a lot of stuff. Shall we keep reading or shall we cut off here?
We should get going.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so chapter 6 is called Learning How to Die, and it's about Ned Stark's execution. Okay, it's one of the most traumatic losses in Game of Thrones. Steely, an honorable patriarch chosen for a position of newfound power by his wit power, who is worked to uncover a conspiracy against his friend, the king, King Bobby B. Up until that moment, a lot of people believed that Ned would be the show's focus. There was even a debut poster that showed Ned on the Iron Throne, basically saying he's going to be the lead. He's destined to rule Westeros. George said, even said that Ned Stark is the center of the series. HBO craftily marketed this was one of them because of crafty marketing, ultra cautious nature of TV storytelling, where they don't usually kill off actors, especially the big names. Ned's death was one of the most shocking and groundbreaking moments in the series, just like it was in the books. A lot of TV shows had aired, like thousands of TV shows, and none of them had launched with an obvious main character, then deliberately gotten rid of them in the debut seasons strictly for creative reasons. Or to use the Boromir meme. You're using the Boromir meme in your book?
What is not simply put the Boromir meme in your book?
Oh, it's like he's saying, like, quote, or to use the Boromir meme, one does not simply kill off your series lead in the 9th episode.
10.
Okay. This feels like a hello fellow kids moment.
How you doing, fellow kids?
Why?
I'm still hip. I guess
it's supposed to be relatively academic. This is supposed to be a journalistic book. Why are you using a meme?
I'm something of a hip youth myself.
We didn't have memes in my day.
Yeah.
Hence, caveman drawings.
Yeah, exactly. Lol, cringe. Exactly.
It's like hearing
this book is so weird. This book is so weird.
The cringe didn't even occur to me. I just kind of blanked out on it was nothing.
This was so bad, just so bad it broke your brain.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alan Taylor Director's first episode, knew it was a big deal. A lot of people who didn't know about the books would assume that they'd be following Ned Stark for the rest of the show, and they were going to do something really radical. George R. R. Martin, I think I'll read this whole thing, since this is a really good quote.
simply by being a journalistic book.
Okay,
no, you don't do that. Not.
It just makes you look. It just makes you look like you're
a 13-year-old.
No.
Who has no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm asking everyone in the chat right now, make fun of this right now.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So
please do it so we have a top memer of the week.
Yeah. So Gandalf. So the impact of Gandalf's death is enormous to me when I was a 12-year-old reading The Fellowship of the Ring. Fly, you fools, and he goes into the cap as him. Holy crap! J.R.R. Tolkien killed the wizard. That's the guy who knew everything. How are they going to destroy the Ring of Power without him? And now the kids have to grow up because Daddy is dead. If Gandalf could die, anyone but he can die. Then just a few chapters later, Boromir goes down. Okay. Those two deaths created in me the anyone could die thing. From that point, I was expected to ink him to pick off the whole fellowship one by one. But then, of course, he brings Gandalf back. He's a little strange at first, but then he's basically the same old Gandalf. I like the impact we got of his being gone. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, 1 second. Sorry, I had to cough. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Yeah, not simply destroy all their writing credentials in one book too.
Yeah.
Okay. David Benioff, from your training scenes, movies, and television, the hero is going to be saved. So are you going to pile it off? Does the queen have a trick up her sleeve? Someone has something planned? Because they're not really going to chop off his head right up into the moment they chop off his head. Okay, not bad quote from him. Talking about Dan Weiss, it's more brutal because of the bruntness of the prose. There's not really anything sacrament or sentimental or sacrament about him. It's just he is up there. The sword, it's coming. Sword ice is coming down on his head, neck, and it's faithful to the way it was in the way it's translated to screen. Still a very different thing because you have live actors, Maisie Williams watching, and Roman Girardi's really cool score. There was a lot of things that made them nervous that season, but we knew episodes 9 and 10, we were ending on a strong note. Okay. Sean Bean thought it was a very courageous move from a television show. HBO had a track record of bold moves. They thought, that's pretty incredible if they could pull this off. Fans knew that it was coming, but it was available to anybody who looked on the book's Wikipedia page, but it still took the vast majority of the audience completely by surprise. Baylor managed to keep viewers guessing about Ned Stark's fate until the last second. Episode opens with, in the black cells, Ned assuring Barrett that Ned, if he falsely confessed to treason, he'd be spared along with his family. Taylor uniquely liked at the scene, a few flaming torches tied together to provide just enough illumination to shoot by. Okay, that works. That's fine. You think my life is some precious thing to me that I would trade my honor for a few years of what? Grew up with actors, learned the craft, learned well. Grew up with soldiers, I learned how to die a long time ago. Ferris responds, pity, such a pity, but what of your daughter's life, Lord, my lord, is that a precious thing to you? Ned trusts the Lannisters to hold up their bargain because his execution would lead to a rebellion in the north. The deal would help both sides. Nobody counted on Joffrey. Crown King Joffrey flipping the script. Ned's brought to the platform for judgment, gave his confession, just promised. Then Joffrey says, my mother wishes me to let Lord Eddard join the Night's Watch, stripped of all titles and powers. He would serve the realm in permanent exile, and my lady Sansa has begged mercy for her father, but they have the soft hearts of women. As long as I am your king, treason will never go unpunished. Sir Ilyn, bring me his head. And so everybody is shocked and horrified. Both the Sansa and Arya, as they're watching from the crowd, and over the viewers. Alan Taylor talked about guiding principle was not to tie yourself too tightly to points of view or try to avoid generic coverage. So they wanted to see the event through Arya's eyes, Sansa, and Ned, and kind of the three characters that you feel like your hearts go out to the most, and it's kind of mostly a scene about his dad and his two little girls. Oh wow, 4 other people highlighted this part.
Oh wow.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Martin Murph version, the Night's Watch brother Yoren coincidentally noticed Arya and took her away. After the execution, the producers decided to have Ned spot Arya perched on the statue of Baelor, then tell Ellie Yoren her location before as he passed him by. The importance of the moment was heightened by the rare use of a zoom shot as the camera dramatically pushed into a stunned Arya. It's these performances, these faces. Oh, great.
Yay.
I'm not surprised.
It was unusual.
Face.
Alan Taylor said it's unusual to do something like that singy, but after they decided it was about the girls, they have a matching shot of that for Sansa. It felt good to say it's about these two. Kim Renfro pointed out that Ned was focused on protecting children. Infant Jon Snow, with his really dangerous birthright, young Daenerys, who Robert wanted to assassinate, and even foolishly Cersei's children after he dumbly warned her to take them to the capital. He did manage to successfully protect one child, Arya, as his final act in the world. Perion talked about how it was more important that Ned be the one to see her and say one word to Yoren, Baelor, statue of Baelor in the middle of the set, and had the name Baelor carved into it and thought we were being all smart. What, you don't sound professional when you say this, Mr. Benioff. Wait,
he is capable of being professional?
Oh no, it's like, oh my gosh, we failed to realize the crowd would be right in front of the word out when we shot it.
The crowd would be right in front of what?
Okay, so there was the word Baelor was carved into the statue, but they didn't realize when they were until after they shot it that the crowd would obscure the word.
Oh, duh.
Luckily, people seem to figure it out anyway. Last thing that Ned can do to protect his little girl. Looks out there, she's gone. Hopefully she's safe. But now it's just a sea of angry faces, and that's what he's left with. Sean being conveyed so much with no dialogue whatsoever.
Oh no!
Okay,
No.
we're back to.
Okay, now we're getting the these performances, these faces, no dialogue.
Oh God, we're back at that. Oh my God.
The face is all that's needed.
You know what that means? We all know what that means, but it might be worth very briefly unpacking. What it means is these faces and these performances are the same thing. The faces are the performances are the faces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Probably more times do we have to hear the same line.
Yeah. Are they blind? What were they doing? I don't know. Okay.
No.
Well, considering the fact that they shot the pilot in complete utter darkness, I would be surprised if they got chronic blindness from it.
Okay. So,
that explains the long night.
The long night looked fine to us. They're actually fine.
I couldn't see at all.
I actually was fine with it because I was able to just turn up the brightness really high on my my iPad. That's what I watched it on. I actually didn't have a problem with the lighting. I think the lighting is the least of the problems with that episode.
The writing is terrible also. And the battle tactics.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't see the tactics because it was so dark.
If you could see it, if you were a military strategist and you saw it, then you would have 20 heart attacks.
And not to mention that when you do turn up the brightness, the artifacting is so damn extreme.
Yeah. So it was pretty straightforward for Alan Taylor to direct the kids. This is your dad. This is bad for Arya. The fighter comes out for Sansa. Starts out like all happy. Think this is going to be for the good. Dad's doing the right thing. Then she crashes when the horror gets it's released. Very different hearts, different perspectives. Maisie Williams talked about how actors pull from past experiences. I'm really good at convincing myself someone's killed my dad. That's the fun part about acting, that you can pretend to be someone else all day. Okay. Jack Gleason talked about it was a long shoot. Scene took 3 days. It was hard sometimes to feel passion when there's 200 actors in front of you. You're on stage. You have the lines. A lot of great actors behind you, but he was really enjoying him. He really enjoyed himself, and he glad he looked like he was having fun. So, Executioner kills Ned with his own broadsword. Got some symmetry with the fact that Ned uses the same sword to execute a deserter in the first episode.
Oh, hey, Wolvie's here.
Hi, Wolvie. Welcome. And we're currently at the record. We are at 24 people.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah,
Surprise! I don't have a champagne bottle, so I can't pop the cork.
You know, your last one of these got 58 likes.
Yeah, I noticed, and it's got like almost 1,000. It's got like over 800 views, which I'm like, thank you.
Thank you, Dragon Chap.
Yeah, thank you, Dragon Advance, for sending all these people over. We really appreciate it. So, okay, so this talks about like, because of this, Ned, like the executioner would get a spot on Arya's kill list, but they had to be written out because Wilco Johnson was receiving treatment for cancer after season 2, so he wasn't able to come back. So, so someone said, so like Alan Taylor talks about how, let's see, what was it? How like Sean was whispering to himself when the sword came down. He asked about what was someone an appropriate prayer for someone who believed in the old gods. People tried to guess what he said, but it's something private Sean being created based on something that just an old old god belief. Okay. Sean Bean talked about you just play what's on the page. He's a good man trying to do his best in the middle of corruption. Fish out of water. He's used to being up north. People are straightforward and pragmatic. And he's down in a place where people are playing games and backstabbing. Really love playing him since he's a principled man who tries to hold things together. It was a journey that he makes that where ultimately his loyalty causes downfall, but I just think it was a wonderful piece of work. Benioff talks about Perion in the first episode. Ned heads deserter, sees it from Bran's perspective. Bran's told very specifically, don't look away. We see the whole thing. In episode 9, we shift from Ned to Arya, and she's told, don't look, don't look. Yoren restrains her from seeing. She'll still be scarred anyway, but doesn't want her to have that image in her mind. So we don't see what Arya doesn't see. Alan Taylor talks about he wanted to heighten his subjectivity. Okay, like his viewpoint. Hear his breathing, drop out all sound, just go to his point of view, trade the view with Arya's. As you see from her perspective, the birds fly over, you hear her breathing, because she has inherited the Stark mantle. Okay, that's good stuff. So, okay, they didn't want a Monty Python geyser. They wanted to see the blade enter his neck and cut on the frame while the blade was mid-neck. They wanted it to be totally ambiguous. It was on discussion of where to cut the frame. There are a lot of high-pitched arguments about whether to add another 12th of a second. 2 hours of discussion about whether it should be frame 6 or frame 7 or frame 8. What is wrong with this? This is hilarious. Okay, for the final shot, they had an elaborate crane to build the architecture on top of the Septic Baylor. There wasn't any architecture. They couldn't afford but there wasn't any architecture because we couldn't afford the VFX in later. How consistent? Didn't have any money. Great. So it's unfortunately still in the show. You do get to see the crane tilt up, and for some reason it tilts toward the sky, then back down again. It was meant to have an arch going over it. Instead, it looks like the camera lost its mind for a second and had a stroke, then returned to business. I'm a little embarrassed by that. Oh.
The camera had a stroke and
No. Okay. Another minor oversight, likewise caused by the production running low on resources, ended up causing the team a bigger headache. Oh my gosh. In the finale, there's a shot of Ned's severed head on a spike, along with several others. In the first season's DVD commentary, Taylor noted that one of the mock heads was former President George W. Bush.
Rip Bush.
George W. Bush, number 2. And that was kind of a second head that they just got from from a mass store or something. Yeah, pretty much. So, okay, so George R. Martin wanted I wanted to be the severed head on the wall where Joffrey makes Sansa look at Ned and the other severed heads, and I wanted to keep my severed head. David and Dan liked the idea, but they didn't have the budget. Do you know what a severed head is? Apparently, according to Bernie Caulfield, it costs about $5,000 for a good severed head, especially if you want eyes and human hair. Okay.
That's interesting.
It's very expensive. Turned out they would have been better off to pay the money because they said bought a box of used severed heads elsewhere. They only seen for like 3 seconds. Nobody noticed anything until we did the Blu-ray. The director in his commentary said, "Notice 2 down from Ned. That's George W. Bush on a spike." We had Rush Liam going, "Cancel the show. They cut off the president's head. What disrespect." It was like the whole world exploded. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And Gina Balin said yes. The whole world exploded. Yes, including us. We called David and Dan in the middle of the night saying, "We've got a problem here." They were really upset because it wasn't intentional. They weren't trying to make a statement. Later on, HBO will release a statement of their own, publicly slamming the move as unacceptable, disrespectful, and in very bad taste. Oh my gosh. So,
done you.
Alan said he wasn't originally going to mention it because he got in trouble last time. They didn't have enough heads. They had to use everyone that they had. The head that they used was made for some kind of comedy, so they had to use it. He remembers making a not very brilliant joke at the time. You go to production with the heads you have, not the heads you want. Paraphrasing Donald Rumsfeld, Bush's Secretary of Defense, because he was pretty angry at Bush and Rumsfeld at the time. I thought it was funny. Since then, I've realized that if someone made a joke like that, the president I believed in, I would be pretty offended too. I think I'd probably mellowed a bit since then, though. If you give me a chance to use Trump's head, I'd probably jump at it.
There we go, Paul. We gotta throw politics in there somehow.
All right. It did have the desired effect, though. Ned's demise. Most of the other drama just played stuff safe, abiding by unwritten rules. Only Thrones decide to kind of flip the script and use a different narrative. The execution raised the stakes by putting all the heroes in greater peril, especially the other Stark children, who were thrown into a world of predators out to get them, and they're now forced to make life and death decisions in order to keep going. The execution was so flawless that it didn't matter that people knew that it was coming. A reporter named Alan Sippenwell said, the final scene was really well shot, and the tiredness of Bean's performance, horror of Maisie Williams, really well conveyed the emotions, even things were chaotic. Everything what happened to Ned was everything else that was very much built on. It's the real hook that sold the show and the novels, also on a human level. You really had to care, and with someone other than Sean Bean playing the role, who knows if it would have worked out. Gina Balin talked about, like, she was watching Ned's death and editing and really was crying, and she felt like they got there. It didn't feel like it was shot in Burbank, and they were proud that there was so many points that could have gone right and it didn't. George R. R. Martin, I have an ego. Normally, I like things done the way I did it, but David and Dan improved the scene. In the books, Ned doesn't say anything or see Arya there, and it's purely coincidence that Bjorn finds her. It's a lovely moment. I wish I had done it that way. The death of Ned could not have been done any better. Okay. Dan Weiss, Ned dying is telling a hard truth about the price of honor, price of morality in this world where not everyone has the same values. It's not a simplistic, reductive message where you sacrifice yourself and it saves the day. A lot of times, sacrifice ends up being futile. That's actually good. That's a good understanding of the novel. They wanted a strong reaction. They got one. I think apathy is the word. David Benioff says I think apathy is the worst thing when making a show like this. If people are infuriated, it's great that this fictional world has such an impact. It's a tough. Welcome, Jelena / Hypatia. Always a good to see.
Hello, Hypatia.
Greetings.
Mm-hmm. It's a tough thing to build up a character that makes someone as memorable and impressive as Ned. Get rid of him. At the same time, at least to a story that's more suspenseful because you have no idea what's going to happen and who survived. So you have to cling to the characters when you know you can lose them at any moment. So Peter Dinklage talked about it. It's really George urges a testament to George's writing. He really loves the outsiders. Ned Stark's great. He's a hero, but George isn't interested in the heroes so much as the people who stand behind the heroes. It's still amazing that how shocking killing Ned is to people that have never been done before, and it still hasn't been done since then. It was followed by Khal Drogo dying, and just like it put Arya and Sansa into jeopardy. Drogo pushed Daenerys into seizing her own destiny. Season finale, Dany burns Drogo's body, along with her three fetched high dragon's eggs, and Mirri Maz Duur, the witch who betrayed Drogo after he killed her people. And so then Dany enters the flames in this, what seems like a suicide act. Dany has the understanding that she has to give herself over to something larger than herself without knowing what's going to happen, said Ed Weiss. But she knows when she's walking into that fire, she's not going to burn up. So she's not insane at that moment. And the people who say that this is an example of her being sane are full of it. She's not insane. So Dawn discovers her unscathed, along with 3 live dragons. It was kind of the Dany rises from the ashes, a really apparently like the most stunning shot of the debut year. Jorah falls to his knees. Mother of Dragons is born. So a stunt woman walked into the flames for Emilia. They originally didn't think it was working. She was wearing the gown like a gossamer gown like what Emilia was wearing. And they put so much flame retardant on it that it looked like she had just climbed out of a vat of Vaseline.
Oh shit!
Oh man.
What?
To be fair, Falcon Max doesn't sound like George trying to explain something on the show himself. He has no one actually told him.
Yeah, probably.
It's not unlikely.
Not unlikely, yeah. He's like,
what did they use for fire? I'm sorry for this scene. They didn't use real fire.
They did actually.
Oh, figures.
So they just.
And why not CGI?
Because they blew it.
Yeah, because they didn't have the budget for CGI. So basically, they just basically like covered the stunt woman in Vaseline in flame retardant. And he's like, "This is never good." The director was like, "This is never going to work," but it seemed to work out fine. So.
That was intense.
Yeah.
They got lucky then.
So Emilia Clarke's real life emotions about performing her rebirth nude, infused her portrayal of the iconic moment. She detailed her thoughts about it. On one side, it was very powerful. On the other hand, I was butt naked in front of people I didn't know. Alan saw the fear in my face, and she said, "Let's lead into that." Then it was really close up to me looking at Mr. Jorah, who's looking down. And that's what I was going through. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what I'm expected to feel. I don't know what I'm expected to do. I'm fully aware that I can be more open. And so the shot went from saying down where there was fear, and then I was like, "No, it's all out. So you better just own. So you just better own that crap." And you step like, "Okay, you've done the worst bit. You sit up. Nobody's behind you. No one saw up your butt, so you can stand up all the way now." Suddenly, it feels like a much more confident stance than sitting cross-legged on the floor, buck naked in front of people. Then I just literally naturally felt my shoulders go back. So she was rightfully worried. Alan Taylor talks about how she was worried about the gratuitous nudity, but she understood it was important that the character was reborn out of the fire. There's no way around it. Not placing extras behind Clark. It was him being protective of her, partly because we didn't have enough extras. All the extras were standing in front of her where they could be on camera, and we were cheating by using a few extras we had over and over again from shot to shot.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So you're talking about like equal amounts of adrenaline and crippling fear for her during that moment. A lot of things together described her journey on the show. It was one of those scenes where I'm like, Beyonce would be here like, and what? And own this, but Emilia would not. And that's Emilia talking. So England talked about, so at the time, the dragons were just dots on Emilia's naked body, but the way she looked, the way the fire went up, it felt pretty amazing. There was all that buzz around the cameras that something magical was being created. Emilia was like, they were like, well, what about the dragons? I decided I wasn't going to stand there and think I had dragons all over me. This was a stupid example. If I had my dog, I wouldn't change my position. I wouldn't change my position because she was there. The dog would just exist and would just do whatever it was they were going to do. Performance was very, very rich and layered. Ian Glenn's performance as well. It's a very cinematic moment where you convey the wonder of what you're seeing, partially by seeing it, but mostly through the old Spielberg tricks of watching someone else react to it. The reaction to Jorah's reaction to Daenerys when he sees the dragons and falls to his knees is a very beautiful moment. Michael Lombardo talked about the biggest fear that they had was that the dragons would be credible. If they looked too cartoony or corny, they were screwed. Thankfully, they worked. People had an emotional response to them. Good news was they worked. Bad news was we'd have to keep delivering on that level. Okay. Probably it was the most proud. Alan Taylor talks about, I was most proud of the aftermath, the dragon reveal, and then all will take place at night. He wanted to shoot it at dawn and got into a fight with David and Dan about it. I wanted to pull back and see the landscape, and we couldn't afford to light that much landscape at night. They let me do it. I'm really happy with the shots that bring Jorah in, still reveal the magic of the dragons, showing people awakening to the new world, then being able to drop it and show truly vast landscape, and then Dramati comes in, does his thing, and with the music, and the last thing here with the dragons. The last line of the book, for first time in hundreds of years, the night came alive with the music of dragons. That was a good way to end, wonderful way to end. We know this world, and now it's launched into a whole new territory. You can't wait for the next season. And that's the end of that chapter.
We've been on for only an hour and 30 minutes. We've been flying through this.
Yeah. There isn't much of a like bad stuff happening. And it's mostly just talking about kind of the actual good moments in the scene. There aren't that many like bad things that they're saying in that one.
Not in this chapter, anyway.
Not so much, no. And another part is like I'm kind of summarizing a lot of this like.
No.
What is the next chapter? Chapter 7.
How many chapters are there?
Bazillion.
Okay, so we are actually a fourth of the way through the book.
Yay!
So about 20, a little over 20 chapters.
So the next, okay, so this next chapter is 20 pages long. The one we read was 15, I believe. So, I think that since I think we'll save this for tomorrow, and we'll call this stream good, so it's nice and digestible for people. Yeah, anyway.
So,
well, unless you guys want to keep going,
well, if we're doing another one tomorrow. That's what you're saying?
No, not doing not tomorrow. Next week. I mean, sorry. Since my thought is like I'm just going to keep reading this once a week. If you guys want to continue, do you guys want to continue reading this, knock out this one today, and try to get to 115? But trying to get to 115, or should we stop here at page 195? Page 95, I mean.
How many pages in the next chapter?
The next chapter is 20.
It's not been that long.
Yeah. So, and like I'll try to like summarize. I guess we'll just go up to 2 hours and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it premiered. So Game of Thrones had 2.2 million viewers on April 17, 2011. It is considered modest for such a costly show. HBO owes Rome had opened to 3.8 million viewers. So,
I'm sorry. What's the title of this chapter again? I'm sorry.
It's called Chapter 7 is called Flesh Blood.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, the reviews were mixed, with two prestigious New York Times panning the drama after they got advanced and copies of the first 6 episodes. They described it as a lot of confusion in the name of no larger or relevant idea behind sketchily fleshed out notions that war is ugly, families are insidious, and power is hot. And expressed skepticism that female viewers would watch such boy fiction. And the Washington Post said it was a groggy slog.
Probably need to get that sorted, Perion.
Okay. So, okay, so I would not agree that is a good assessment of season 1. Season 1's actually fine. And like, I think that the problem with the New York Times is like, in this case, they're not like getting it. Like, kind of, they're talking about the people who like power the most are the bad guys, and the good guy who dies is at the end is a really like good guy who's framed as sympathetic, and his death is the MacGuffin that gets the whole series going. Okay, so other people saw the promise right away. Variety talked about how Jones grabs the audience by the throat like an exceptionally loyal wolf. That's actually hilarious. Because that actually happens in season 1. Okay. Uprox said it deposits me in the world I never expected to visit and doesn't leave me feeling stranded or adrift, but eager to immerse himself. Hollywood Reporter said the ambition is immense. Fantasy world is exceptionally well conceived. The writing and acting elevated the whole series, especially the pairing of an acclaimed collection of fantasy books with a television series that illuminates and expands what's on the page. And then the second episode got another 2.2 million viewers. Martin, we got okay ratings. Second week ratings stayed level. I was at New York and had lunch with Richard Pupley at his club, and he said this show is going to last 10 years. And I said, there's been 2 episodes, the ratings are good, not great. So how do you know that? There's no drop off. The second episode always goes down. The only question is by how much. This is level, and it's going to start going up. And that's exactly what happened. So HBO greenlit another 10 seasons based on the books, based on the next book, Clash of Kings.
Hold on, they greenlit 10 seasons?
Greenlit another season of 10 episodes.
Oh, I'm like, what the fuck did you do, David Benioff?
Yeah. No, it's so currently it's kind of, the book is about contenders for the Iron Throne vying for power, while on the other side, Dany is trying to get followers. New season, for the new season you needed to add a large number of new players to the show, such as Noble Knight Brienne of Tarth, King Robert's brother Stannis, Principal Smuggler Davos, Murderous Sorceress Melisandre, Wildling Warriors Ygritte, and Tormund Giantsbane. Tormund Giantsbane is not in season 2.
Well, the writer kind of forgot. This book kind of forgot he wasn't in season 2.
Tormund is in season 3, you idiots! Okay, Stark Bannerman, Roose Bolton, Captain Wildling Gilly, Walder Frey. Walder Frey is in season 1, and he doesn't show up in season 2.
Sounds like they're making mistakes to me. Big ones. Whoops.
Yeah,
Did they just slap this book together or something? It sounds like that.
that's what they said on Amazon. Lots of mistakes.
Oh my god.
The biggest mistake was the book existing in the first place.
Okay. Wily yet benevolent social climber Marjorie Tyrell and Marjorie's grandmother Olenna Tyrell, first introduced in season 3. So they're acknowledging that she's introduced in season 3. She's not even mentioned in season 2.
Why would they do this? Contradict yourselves in one paragraph. It is proofreading. I have no idea.
Okay. Okay, so Bernie Caulfield worked on a lot of big shows. So there's a lot of lovely.
There's that.
Okay, so
you missed Wolfie.
Caulfield rarely received press attention. Certainly never courted it. Benioff, D&D frequently credited her, along with the fellow producer Christopher Newton, with keeping the show's railroad of trains running, keeping the show running and solving a seemingly never-ending stream of logistical problems.
Oh, railroad. That's
Yeah.
one way to put it. It's certainly a train wreck.
Yes. But I would
It's
say
somehow-
causing logistical problems, not.
Yeah.
It's somehow that train wreck that somehow managed to stay on the rails until season 8.
Yeah. So it's talking about how King's Landing in Essos. It also replaced Morocco and Malta as the show's location of choice. Northern Ireland, they picked the most cost-effective country with a relatively war-torn past that didn't feel like it was already overexposed by other Hollywood stuff. The Old Town area in Dubrovnik was frequently used. Considered one of the most it's a very well-preserved medieval city. It's a very good tourist attraction that served as an ideal Westeros doppelganger, as he puts it, which is weird way of saying it. Detailing. It was built in the 17th century. It's got 80-foot stone walls built in the 10th. It looks like red tiled roofs against the Adriatic Sea, resembling King's Landing, absent certain Game of Thrones ramparts such as the Red Keep and the Sept of Baelor. Season 2 pre-production and casting went on its way. The ratings kept climbing and peaked with 3 million viewers watching the finale. So combined with repeat airings, DVD or playback, it averaged 8 million viewers per episode. With this show edging into the territory of being hit, the cast members felt a lot of pressure that the show's first season had managed to avoid. So Liam Cunningham first met them while auditioning for a different character. He never told anyone this, but he was auditioning for Ser Jorah. Wow, so Davos was originally auditioning for Ser Jorah. That's very interesting.
Cool.
Okay, so he kind of talks about usually within 5 pages you can tell if the script is bad or not, going in the trash can or not. And he couldn't put these down. It's like for an actor, you finally found what you're looking for. He told my agent they were going in a different direction, which is a nice way of saying you didn't get the job. They added, we have some more characters coming the next season. I'm thinking, yeah, sure, don't call us, we'll call you. But they put me on the list, put him on the list to come with the following year. And by then, everyone in the UK wanted Game of Thrones on the resume. It was a badge of honor, a mission that everybody expected to be on. Okay. Sharif Van Houten had never played a character like this before. In the Netherlands, where she's from, she mostly played light comedies and funny part, and she was able to. This was really serious. She's completely screwed up her lines in the audition. She was overconfident. I was overconscious and intimidated by the whole thing. The show was already sort of a hit, and there was an uncreative room with 5 men there.
Oof.
I had to audition the Burning of the Gods on the beach, which was this epic, massive scene. It was hard to portray in a tiny Belfast office. Then they had me do another scene with Davos, and both it was much more subtle. I think that saved me. Okay. Charisse and I did a movie together in South Africa, Black Butterflies, and then it wasn't long before they were up for the 2 roles of Davos and Melisandre. Both of us recommended the other for the part, and both of us got them. Bizarre thing, we played lovers in the film. It was quite liberal. There was quite a lot of horizontal folk dancing in the movie, and I'll leave the rest to your imagination. But then we worked after each other on that set.
What the?
Okay. Weird. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So apparently Natalie Dormer, who played Marjorie Tyrell, auditioned for Melisandre originally, not Marjorie. Interesting.
There seems to be a bit of a theme here going on.
Yeah. So she got a call from her agent saying, I love you, but they wanted to audition for another role. She's like, dang, this Melisandre role looks freaking cool. And she actually swears and actually says the F word, which is hilarious. I love that Natalie Dormer is so blunt. This book has a lot of swearing in it, which is weird. Like, it's weird that this book has so much swearing in it. The D&D said, this character Marjorie, so exploring what you're going to do with her. You get back and realize Melisandre couldn't have been anyone else. Shrews did an amazing job. But I always had a chuckle on the couch when a Melisandre scene came on. Marjorie brought a very sort of modern PR kind of angle to the ensemble she's canvassing, the common people's hearts and minds. Think of her as a hybrid of Michelle Obama and like a Kate Middleton or Princess Diana in terms of her performance. When Rose Leslie got the role of Ego, she was very ecstatic. She got the call from the agent in the center of London. He told her the good news. She was jumping up and down like a maniac and didn't care that she was screaming in the middle of a crowded square. Oh, that's adorable. I love that.
I wonder what people's reactions would have been.
These aren't really bad. These aren't like, come on, Mr. Hibbard, give us some gold. Give us some weird stuff.
We need more Danny's kind of forgot moments. Come on, give us those.
Isn't this season 2 that we're in now?
Yeah.
There should be something coming up then.
Yeah.
There are a number of missteps.
Maybe it's Danny's "Where Are My Dragons" moment or something like that.
Or like the we changed the name to Lisa because we wanted to show off Richard Madden as an actor.
And
look at his non-verbal emoting performances, everybody.
Yeah.
And why the blazes did Jamie kill his cousin? I never got that.
Because reasons. I don't fucking know.
Gemma Whalen. So Gemma Whalen played like, Yara Greyjoy. She's doing a lot of comedy, but she wanted to do serious drama. it's kind of hard when you're working in comedy to even get into a drama show for dramatic casting. So Game of Thrones came about because I was added to comedy casting, which had the same casting director. I was literally in the right place at the right time, even though I was at a comedy casting. They thought this is never going to be my first drama. I'll never get this. So she was quite relaxed in the audition because she didn't think she would do it. Then Christopher Hiju, who played Tormund. Tormund Googled the character and read all the fan sites and blogs he could find about what the fans said about them. The fans gave me a very clear picture. Thank you! Thank you!
Why can't we have that for all the characters?
I wish that too. Oh, gosh.
No, we must have Stannis stare a lot, and everybody stares a lot and doesn't say shit.
Right. Okay, so Dan Weiss, Christopher had the beard already for some reason, and he had this giant unpeeled carrot at the audition, which makes no sense because Tormund lives in a frozen wasteland, but he's sitting there munching on this giant carrot, taking huge animal bites. There was something about it that was perfect, even though nothing about it made any sense. I remember, I like what this guy is doing with the carrot.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
No.
Play super sexual theme music there, and you can see some really weird shit.
Dang it! Wow. Okay, so this part's interesting. Okay, so David Bradley, Filch from Harry Potter, who played Walder Frey, he apparently didn't have to audition. It was a direct offer. Sometimes parts come through, and he spends a lot of time struggling with who the person should be in terms of his performance as soon as he moved. With Walder, he pretty much knew how to play him as soon as he read it. Walder Frey's just this pervy, disgusting old man who... Okay. Michael McHadden, who played Roose Bolton, he went up for several roles but didn't get them. And then out of the blue, he got the offer to play Roose Bolton, and he was pretty much the perfect person to play Roose Bolton. He didn't know... he didn't know anything about the character, and the next day he was meeting with the costume woman to fit me for boots. Michelle McLaren, who's a director, when she first got the job, she called up another director, David Nutter. She said, I'm going to do Game of Thrones. Can I buy you lunch and get some advice? He says, Michelle, it's a Porsche. Get in and drive it. I guess probably just go with it. One of the things where the show was so massive, had so much potential and scope, you need to go in and think of the impossible, think of the biggest challenge you could. They wanted you to push the limits. Okay. Brian Cogman, the co-executive producer, who was ascended from being the babysitter and coffee boy, the babysitter's husband and the coffee boy, to being the co-executive producer. What? He's never
say that in so many words.
Well, it kind of says that he got the job because he was married to David Benioff's babysitter.
What? That's how he got his job? Like, I need to get some connections. God damn.
Yeah.
Maybe I could be a writer.
I still don't get what's bad about nepotism. I don't understand.
Yeah, this was annoying me too.
Okay. So, kind of thinking, when they got to Brains casting, they were wondering how are they going to find someone to play this. They were really worried because the Hollywood thing would happen where they cast some willowy girl and just say, well, she's the best actress, not cast for what the role needed. George watched Gwen's first video and said, audition video and said, oh my gosh, there she is. So they wrote this, and Brian Cogman wrote the script where Brianna was introduced, and I can't remember what it was like to write that character before it was Gwen. She was perfection in that role. She kind of is, because only A, she's a good actress, but B, she's physically that role, because she's like, admittedly, like, she plays Captain Phasma, and it's just like, you wasted Brienne of Tarth, you wankers. But screw you, JJ, screw you, Ryan, for wasting an amazing actress who's done awesome work. Like, partially it's because, like, in real life, Gwendolyn Christie is 6'3". She's really tall. Like, pretty much, she is the only one who could play this role in the world that I'm aware of. You could, I guess, get it. Well, and the only one actress that I am aware of who is as tall as Gwendolyn Christie is Elizabeth Debicki, but Elizabeth Debicki is what they describe where she's very, very willowy, and I don't know if like she would have looked convincing in armor. I don't know if she could have held it up unless she like put some serious muscles, put some serious time at the gym in. And even then, like, just Gwen was perfect for it.
Yeah, pump that iron.
So there was a lot of things about Gwen that didn't look anything about like Brienne of Tarth. The role's description talked about the character's muscularity, fitness, and height, which was the key. They seen Gwen in something completely different. On touch with her, as it's unusual to have a part for Gwen's height. She read the books, chopped her hair off. By the time she came in, she was flying with it. Gwendolyn Christie, the fans have seen me pick pictures of her after I was cast. Some of them were frankly ghastly. I loved the fans said, "Who's this model?" I've only ever wanted to be a model. All I've ever wanted to say is for people to say I'm pretty, but too pretty. Amazing. I've always been able to look very different very easily, so I worked with a trainer, went to the gym, still very nervous. She hadn't really done other filming, just bits and pieces. She trained for about 4 months to prepare for the role. She put the costume on, and she really felt she was able to transform because of that costume. The costume was incredibly painful, but that is how it must have felt for Brienne to wear it. Okay. And then came Judi Dench, a 73-year-old screen legend, the ideal and perfect choice to play Olenna Tyrell, the Queen of Thorns, because of her piercing wit. Rigg was a Royal Shakespeare Company veteran whose credits included playing a Bond girl on Her Majesty's Secret Service, sex pot Emilia Emma Peel in the Avengers TV series, and they were very happy to cast actual British nobility to play Westeros royalty. That's pretty cool.
This is so damn depressing. Like, they got like the perfect cast for the most part in this show, and then they just ruined this whole shit.
Yeah.
Incompetence.
Yeah. So okay, this is interesting for Mr. Benioff. When we initially cast Diana Rigg, we had tea with her. Dames don't audition for you, you audition for them. We loved her. She was funny, she was bawdy, she's everything we wanted for that character. She said with a big smile, "There's a lot of bonking, isn't there?"
Well, lucky for Bran, she doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That is true.
When she came to the first table read, having already memorized her entire role for the season. Wow.
Oh, damn.
Way to go.
Like, Dame Diana Rigg, rest in peace. I salute you. You are the only person who could have ever played Olenna Tyrell. You were perfect.
She probably put far more effort than the freaking showrunners did, like 100 or 50 times more.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, definitely.
Jesus, 2020 has been racking up a big count of celebrities.
So
2020 is the Game of Thrones of the freaking kill count year.
Yeah, Sean Connery is passed. Dame Diana Rigg is passed.
Chadwick Boseman passed. Who else is passed?
Yes, Dame Diana Rigg said there's an awful lot of bonking, isn't there? Which I am so sorry that we do not have it covered, a video of that. But we're making good time. We're already like 101. We only have 14 pages left. So the Minahan grew up watching the Avengers, the old TV series, so she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a Peel." A lot of young people didn't understand who she was. They were like, "That old lady." I was like, "That old lady is 10 times wilder than you can ever imagine."
Oh no, that sounds like a Star Wars line.
That's funny.
Oh no.
It's like it's the director saying, like, that old lady is way wilder than you can ever imagine. Like, she was a Bond girl and she played Emma Peel.
Oh God.
You strike me, Dan. I will become more crazier than you possibly imagine.
Mm-hmm. So when they were at the table read, she said, Diana said, I'm thinking I'm going to wear a wimple. Not really quickly, he looked up wimple. He's like, okay, it's like something that nuns wear. I was like, so you don't want to wear a wig, right? She didn't want her to spend her days getting into a wig. And it makes it about a quarter of the time it would take to put into a wimple. Okay. And we got to Nabrog that I think she really regretted wearing it because it's 80 degrees and she's in this nun's habit. Oh my god.
God damn. Would you please just build a set, people? Ugh.
Yeah.
What's the set?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't in any of their vocabulary. It was all, oh, we gotta be on location.
But they have a vocabulary?
It will improve the actors' performances. Jeez.
Wait, guys, why are you being so generous? They don't have a vocabulary.
Yeah.
Will they make cooler faces if they're in extreme hot or extreme cold?
Yeah, I don't know. So, second season went on. Cast members started to find out the new roles, and returning actors sought to improve on previous season. The atmosphere very much changed. According to Kirsten 9, the atmosphere changed between seasons. First season, you had a sense of hope and expectation. This season was, oh crap, that did really well. We have to do it again, but better. John Bradley, who plays Samuel Tarly, talked about like in season 1 they got along so well, and they just wanted to the atmosphere to carry on when you got separated from your core group. Hannah Murray, I hadn't watched the show. I didn't have a TV. I only watched it after I got cast. It was like I was auditioning John Bradley because I knew we were going to work so close together. I really wanted to be brilliant. Then he came on screen, and after that 3 seconds, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. He brought so much more to the character. You care so much about him as soon as you see him. So John Bradley were aware that Bradley and Hannah were aware that it was that the relationship of their characters was going to have long-term future. So they really wanted to. They were very trepidatious. They wanted it to be a good personal as well as a good professional relationship. Thankfully, connection was definitely made. They had similar attitudes about how to perform it, and they didn't like anything that was too saccharine or manipulative. Good decision. So, okay, Gwendolyn Christie. My first filming day, there was a hurricane. It was all extremely dramatic. We were all holed up in a little hotel with these open fires and a view of the coastline and the landscape. Everybody was just so open and warm, and we were also excited to be on the show. We really bonded. Oh my gosh, a hurricane!
What?
You're admitting.
Is this the same
There's a
hurricane?
Yep, this is the same hurricane. So
Hurricane Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Ethan Anthony talked about how Gwendolyn Christie is really incredible. She insisted on organizing his real-life birthday party on the basis it was the kind of thing that Brienne would do for Renly, which was just amazing. And he also saw her at the gym and saw how physically hard she was working to play this role, and it was really impressive. This makes me so much more angry that they wasted her in Star Wars for that stupid casino plot. I'm just like, why? Why would you do this? Okay, Peter Dinklage. They went out at night. They didn't talk about the weather. They talked about the show. They went out to dinner, still talking about it, which is testament to how pervasive it was. Gemma Whalen, she was very much wanting to get rid of her feeling of imposter syndrome, since on sitcoms, humor and levity is the essence of what you're doing, and she kind of defaults to that. So her introduction scene was with Alfie on the horse. We had quite a flatulent horse, I found that extremely funny.
What's the horse story? I'm sorry. What's this horse story?
It's farting.
Oh.
The horse is farting all of the time.
So Alfie Allen, kid's joke. Oh.
So Alfie Allen said, "Listen, you have to not lose. You have to not lose it to a giggle. You're on a big show now. Pull yourself together. He said it in the kindest possible way. You're on the. It was on the Antrim. They were on the Antrim coast for limited time, so they couldn't really screw around. But he made her think, okay, I gotta behave myself. And it was a kind of piece of advice that was given early enough so that she didn't make a fool of herself. Later, there was the scene where Yara was meant to be chowing down on chicken. She doesn't eat meat, and she was too shy and nervous to tell them that. So she spent the day eating chicken and just tried to justify the fact that she was going method for the day. So that's literally the quote. So I spent a day eating chicken and just tried to justify the fact that I was going method for the day. Oh my God. That's really funny, actually. So Hannah Murray, so one night, 3 in the morning, I was sitting around and Kit Harington, the guy playing Jon Snow, said, "This is such a ridiculous job that we do, isn't it? We're sitting in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the night wearing cloaks." And G.R. Mormont, James Cosmo said, "Yeah, it is ridiculous, and the more seriously we take it, the more ridiculous it is." Really made an impression on Hannah. It was wonderful advice for how to really approach acting. It really is silly, and it's important to recognize that since she was 22 at the time, and that maybe made her not take herself or the work too seriously, and she had a lot more fun because of that. Liam Cunningham, Charisse Van Houten, Stephen Delane, who played Stannis Baratheon, Tara Fitzgerald, Sleaze Baratheon, formed the core of the new storyline. Dragonstone, Robert's elder brother, younger brother, you idiot!
Even now that he got that wrong?
Yes. Did they just say that Stannis is Robert's elder brother? Is that what they just said?
Yes.
Oh no.
Wow.
Pardon me.
What a fucking dumb piece of shit. What the hell's going on here?
No editors, probably.
Editor? What's that? I'm just going to write a book
No,
and not
no beta readers, no editors, no nothing.
This book is just a compilation of random shit you just threw together.
You could even self-edit.
No.
Holy crap. Younger brother. Elder brother.
Plotted to seize the throne from Joffrey. Whoops.
Yeah, plotted to seize the throne from Joffrey with the help of advisor Sir Davos and Melisandre. First scene,
I wouldn't call it plotting exactly.
He's planning on seizing what's his right, you idiot.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Okay.
I mean, the way they have it, makes it sound like he's usurping it from Joffrey.
Yeah. So, in the first scene together, Melisandre earns the statues of the Seven Gods on the beach in season 2 premiere. Okay. So Dan Weiss on Stannis, he wants the throne not just out of greed or power lust, but because he's a man who's done everything by the book, and the book now says I should be king. He understands he's the rightful heir, and anyone who tries to prevent him from getting the throne is violating the law. Okay.
Wait, doesn't that contradict what Benioff said in season 5 about Stannis?
Yeah.
About his ambition or something?
Yeah. It does.
Wow. What a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
They can't even keep their stupid lies straight.
Yeah.
In other news, grass is green and water is not wet.
So Liam Cunningham really liked the fact that Davos came from humble beginnings as a small-time crook, but he had more humanity than any of the Lannisters and most of the Starks. He's never torn from his principles. They're just part of him. Just part of his DNA, as he puts it. He's not interested in power. He's very loyal and decent. He felt like he occasionally spoke for the audience as Davos, but he hit the ground running because the relationships were already formed in the story. Charisse said it wasn't an easy part for her. Her first shooting day was the Burning of the Gods with a lot of great actors. It's unusual for her not to be so sure of herself. She was nervous and shy and insecure. She couldn't really use any of those feelings. She had to be about the Lord of Light. Also, my dress was so fitting that I couldn't wear anything underneath. I had never been so cold in my life. This seems like a pattern.
Wait. It was tailored so finely to her body that she couldn't wear anything underneath it?
Nope.
Wow.
That's hot, man. That's so hot.
Is this a test?
Wait, I can't.
So unbelievably numb right now that I hardly could even react.
It's so cold. Like, ugh.
Oh, okay. Well, she's ambiguously dark and all that, so I can see why.
Task successfully failed.
Successfully failed? Did someone just say?
Yeah, they created the perfect dress that she couldn't wear anything underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, I
Therese-
would have been completely uncomfortable in something like that.
Okay, so
Oh.
apparently, like, this is kind of funny. Charisse would feel cold if she were dropped in a volcano.
She's so going commando.
She constantly had a hot water bottle pinned to her. She hates the cold.
I hate the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like
It-
Charisse says, it's true, I get cold in the summer. I'm the coldest person ever, which is not handy in this role. My character is supposed to never be cold. I got unlucky there. Delane, the guy who played Stannis, earned a reputation as the show's most press-averse actor, which is funny.
Oh yeah, I just thought of something. You know what? We could have fixed that if they actually had like a heat lamp or something.
Yeah.
Pointing at them.
Okay, this is really funny. Stephen Delane just kind of admitted, I have nothing to say about Thrones because I understand neither the series nor its success. This is a very Stannis thing to say. He's kind of perfect as Stannis.
Oh my god.
Like, and candidly admitted that he took the role for, among other things, the money.
Well, for some people, that is the reason they take roles.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to know something, or else you're not going to be able to answer questions.
Yeah. So Charisse talked about Stannis isn't a pleasing character. There's something very interesting about watching him. Maybe the actor trying to figure out what was helping him helped make him unpredictable. I never really got the relationship between all of them. Oh my gosh. Sounds like the directors weren't explaining things very well.
No! It
No.
sounds to me as if
Yeah.
someone was trying to micromanage the directors.
Yeah. So Liam Cunningham would defend Stephen Delane as a fantastic actor with a good reputation, but he's not very good at interviews. He wears his heart on his sleeve, says things that are primed to be taken out of context. He's been maligned for a lot of the wrong reasons. He's a very dedicated, fantastic person to work with. There's no ego that gets in the way of his work.
No ego.
Yeah, I would say he doesn't. He's very, very straightforward. Liam continues. In season 3, walked into the room after Davos assumed to be dead after the Blackwater. Stannis is sitting on a chair looking at Dragonstone. When I walk in, a lesser actor would have immediately stood and take a moment, said his line, "Thought you were dead." Whereas Steven glances over his shoulder and says the line in an incredibly unemotional way. He doesn't do trailer acting. He doesn't go with the easy choice. That's good. That's very, very good. Ethan Anthony, who played Renly, only had one actor with one scene with his brother Stannis, since the hilltop parlay on horseback between Renly and Stannis. Ned Stark is also there. Both the brothers are not going to back down from their self-proclaimed claims. Self-proclaimed claims, that's a weird sentence, to the Iron Throne. Anthony didn't comment on Delane. He rather quickly described this film he had seen as educational. Ethan and Anthony, I still feel almost confused by that scene. I learned a lot that day. I hope they came off well enough. I'm not sure it did. It was a strange experience. I think it was partly because I was so vested in it. Shouldn't it be invested? What the heck?
Vested. Let me look that up and see. That's actually.
I'm obviously not surprised.
Vested, secured in the possession or of or assigned to a person.
Interesting. It was hard to divorce myself from a huge moment in the character's journey. At the end of the scene, she was like, at the end of the scene, there's the line, "Can you believe I loved him once?" Great one-liner. Then I'm supposed to gallop the horse up the cliff and away. Now, Michelle Fairley is a competition horse rider. Wow, that is really cool. So she grew up in the area and used to ride without saddles, so she's really good at this. Brilliant. Yet she's supposed to follow me, which was embarrassing as a new horse rider. I managed it, but with so much less confidence and slightly slow moving. That's actually really fun. That's actually really cool. I had no idea that Michelle Fairley was a professional horse rider. That's really neat.
Well, if nothing else, she'd be able to help everyone else who had to ride horses.
Yeah.
And it was probably a blessing in disguise.
Okay. So, this is interesting. The Dragonstone group's gothic relationship had the oddest scene, the most bizarre scene in the series, really. When a naked and pregnant Melisandre gave birth to a shadow demon that wanted to slay Renly. Okay. So, Keith and Anthony talks about, like, people often criticize Renly for being militarily naive. No, he wasn't. He just didn't see magic coming in a world where they don't believe in magic. I think that's kind of fair enough, really, which I would agree with. So the scene was shot in Kitchen Caves in Northern Ireland coast in the early hours in the morning, with the baby created later using CGI. Liam kind of described it. It was insane, looked like a cave, but it was more like a funnel, and there was cold wind blowing through. Charisse, the poor woman, was totally naked except for the pregnant belly prosthetic. There's 3 guys running pipe work between her legs to make the air bubbles to make it move. The indignity of it. She's absolutely terrific in that scene under really difficult circumstances. Charisse was... There I was with Liam next to me, pretending to give birth to this computer thing. Thank goodness for Liam. He really dragged me through it. It was really surreal. I was quite excited because this is something you don't normally get in a script. But it was also weird to give birth to something that was going to be CGI, so I had no idea what it was going to look like. It was also cold.
It was bad.
Yeah. Liam Cunningham, you have this gorgeous Josh woman you're supposed to stare straight between her legs and try to do that only between action and cut. What am I supposed to be horrified by? Then the baby comes. They had this thing that looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy on a stick that was supposed to be the shadow baby that they used to keep your eye on.
What?
Repeat that. I want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Yes, please repeat that. Oh my God.
I'll let you read it.
No, not the pixels. It's too pixelated to read.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not too pixelated.
Then quote the baby end quote comes. Pillsbury Doughboy on a stick. It was supposed to be the shadow baby.
That they're supposed to be the shadow baby that they use to help our eye line.
He looks like. Let's see what he said. Let's hear what he said to the director.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he looked at the monitor, said to the director, "The scene looks like a Caravaggio painting." And the director says that's exactly. I don't know who that is, but we'll do it.
Baroque painter.
Yeah. In retrospect, she thought, "Did I really have to be naked for this?" Was giving birth to the monster not enough? What she described as naked in the books, technically she is. I think there's a footnote there. Footnote.
There's an actual footnote in this book.
There's a footnote.
Read the footnote.
Yes.
No, I'm just going to show the footnote.
She was.
Oh,
She
good
was.
God.
See all footnotes.
Why? What is the point? I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
It's the
Why
first
that
footnote in.
footnote particularly?
It's the first footnote in the book. Okay.
Did they just put it there to
Why
say they had a footnote or something?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's the first footnote in the frickin' book.
There is some
And it explains
gold
that she
here.
was naked. And that explains that Melisandre is naked in the book.
Yeah, there
There's
is
two
some gold
footnotes.
here, but we just
There
got
are two footnotes in this entire book.
What?
She was, and then just something about accents.
Oh.
And it's on the last page of the book.
Oh, no spoilers.
Don't spoil, or I'll be shooting.
Yeah.
What's there to
I'll throw a
spoil?
Yeah, what's there to spoil, guys?
Somebody's dignity.
What? What kind of footnote is that?
It's
Gee,
just
what?
a footnote.
That reminds me of a lot of stuff where they have
Cringe.
sex
Yeah, this is-
scenes where the sex scene is not needed
Yeah.
too.
So
Because a lot of people seem to enjoy adding those.
yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, there's that in the book too, and some of those are pretty cringy as well.
Yeah, like the Marish Swamp and Fat Pink Mast.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I wouldn't get up here as if I didn't hear that.
What, you don't like Pink Mast? Oh, you a massive?
I'd rather be a massive than looking about what the hell you guys are talking about.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Exactly.
Shouldn't
So I want to be a
books
I
massive.
have
certainly
more
know all about this.
Therefore,
Shouldn't books have more footnotes at the beginning or none at all? I remember the Bartimaeus. Well, the thing is, Bartimaeus Trilogy is a fantasy series. This is an academic book, and the only footnote there is saying she was,
Is this really an
in
academic
reference to the
book?
fact that she was the character was buck naked in the book. That's the
Is
only
this
thing.
really an academic book? Because it doesn't.
Why
seem
couldn't
to.
they just not put that in the? Oh,
They could have just had her be like not naked, I guess.
You just spread your legs with a costume on, and like something comes out. Done.
It would have been easier, yeah. And they
It's like
wouldn't have to do the. It would have been easier to hide the prosthetic, but no. Let's keep going.
she literally could have just kept the dress on and just spread the legs,
Yeah.
and that would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that.
So she can live with it. I can live with it. I'm fine. I don't believe in regrets, but I wonder in retrospect if it was really necessary. I've gotten more conscious in that regard. I've always defended Melisandre's nakedness because she uses a weapon, and that's true, but she used that weapon quite a lot. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It seemed like David and Dan just wanted everybody naked, which is weird. Like they wanted, like earlier this book was like we want here's a Hodor naked scene, and Jason Momoa, take the frickin' cocksock off.
Yeah, they asked us to
if
get
they
naked too. which is
wanted
weird.
to do a documentary on a nudist community, that's what they should have done.
Yeah, but sex stuff. There's a lot of sex in the books.
I'm just glad we didn't have to
lot
do
of
a sex
nudity,
scene.
I'm not
but they
debating
added-
that.
But they did add a lot. And it's kind of just some of it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And prostitutes love being prostitutes in the show, it seems.
Yeah.
I'm
So Nikolai Coster-Waldau was rather frustrating by season 2 since he spent the year chained outdoors in the mud for nearly all of his scenes. As an actor, I hated it. Hey, you can't bench me. What the heck? But it made sense for the journey he was on. He said himself that he was not well equipped for imprisonment. Sometimes you have to be forced into not moving. So,
No.
well, it is in the
these
book,
are
so
the
it's
people.
fine. It is fine. It's in the book. He's imprisoned in the book. He actually barely shows up in the second book. They actually added a lot more
Okay.
scenes for him. So it works. It works fine. Like, and it keeps you like engaged in the character, and I think the scenes worked very well. So Robin Catlin, played by Richard Madden and Mr. Fairley, most of their season was spent in tents while the war was going on between the Lannisters and the Starks. They used to go, not another bloody tent. Crap, Michelle Fairley said. But it was simply because the budget didn't allow for any of the journeying, and every time they did a bit of the journey, they arrived and entered the tent. That's why I spent so much of season 2 in a tent. Because they didn't have enough a budget for a set in frickin' Riverrun. Oh my gosh.
The worst of it is the show gets worse when they have a better budget, not better.
Which is
yes.
We'll give it like a $1 budget, and it'll be like the best writing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, in the books, like there's a point to a lot of this sex, and it's not as much as like the just like standard like just blasé nudity that just happens at brothels nearly every episode. It's just there cuz. So, Richard Madden really liked the fact that he was able to flesh out Rob struggling being a military leader despite being very youthful and not experienced. He has little control over his life for someone who just became king. He didn't want to be king, but he knew no one else was going to do it. How it should be done, how his dad would have done it, so he needed to try. Rob was putting up a mask the whole time, and if I did it doing the mask right, you saw him as this quite intimidating foe. Jaime Lannister, for example, was this man who could lead an army. And then you get these scenes with his mother or with Theon, where for a moment the mask gets shifted and you see it's just a regular guy. He's just a kid. So Peter Dinklage was not stuck in tents, chains, or caves. Since Sean Bean was gone, Dinklage was elevated to show's top billing, a position he'd maintained for the rest of the series, which makes sense. He got to enjoy, along with his character, Tyrion's promotion to Hand of the King. Peter Dinklage came from great wealth, but was treated very poorly. And now he's getting this newfound respect. He's like, I can get revenge on all this high school kid who's made fun of me. Tyrion definitely enjoyed that part of himself and was desperately trying to hold on to it. So the guy who played Lancel Lannister, Eugene Michael Simon, when there's a scene where Lancel Lannister is begging Tyrion not to reveal that what he's been doing with Cersei. I remember trying to figure out how much Lancel would grovel. I mean, he's got a sword, leaning to him properly begging on his knees. I knew it was working when Peter's saying, I'm really liking this moment where Lancel is on the ground literally beneath me. I think that's fine. It works. It works for the character. He's like, I don't know if there was any moment in Thrones when somebody was begging Tyrion that much. What struck me was that Tyrion was probably quite capable of doing that to more than one person. He's got that power.
Anybody remember when Tyrion was smart? Like,
yeah.
That reminds me, like, when Tyrion was an actual fucking character, not a plot device.
Yeah. So, during that season 2, there was a lot of maneuvering against between Tyrion and Cersei. So Lena Headey, so Cersei's always covering up her real feelings. She's very reptilian character. She never really believed her when she was playing her. There was one moment where she actually showed Tyrion her true self. He became like her confidant, which is weird, because that's not how it is in the book. She loved being in those scenes with Pete. He's a great guy, and they've known each other for a long time, and so they were very easy about it. So David Benioff, nobody understands Cersei as well as Tyrion, with the possible exception of Jaime. They share a worldview, but Cersei is more cynical. They were raised by the same father, but her experiences left her more bitter than Tyrion, who still has a shred of optimism. That makes sense. So Sybil Kikali describes it as, when the camera was on her, Peter would listen to me and act with me. The actors were really rare. This kind of actor is really rare. Peter did a lot of jokes about my English early on, and I didn't understand them. Then my English got better, and Peter said, I can't do jokes anymore because you're starting to understand them. Oh, I love Peter Dinklage. He's great. Sophie Turner talked about Peter's most inspirational actor to watch. He said to the director, this doesn't feel right. Tyrion needs to come over here, I wouldn't have had the courage to say that. Sansa is cynically coming to believe that the truth is either boring or horrible, and begin into confiding in her handmaiden Shay, Tyrion's lover. Okay. Sophie Turner talked about Heads on Spikes was a real turning point because for Sansa, because she realized she has to be independent, strong, and trust no one. So in season 2, she's thinking about surviving the whole time. She's suffering at the hands of this horrible little kid king Joffrey as nobody else. She went back to her roots of Winterfell with her clothing and hair because she's missing home. It's really hard to move around in those dresses. You're walking like she felt like she was walking like a statue. Sybil talks about she remembered a scene when Sophie had to cry. She cried in stride and then she couldn't stop. I felt like I should protect her even though she's taller than me. And since I was single at the time, she would say, "Hey, Sybil, I have a single friend and he'd be interested in you." I'm like, "Sophie, you're 13, I'm 30. I cannot date your friends." Oh, that's hilarious. These guys like they had a fun. Anyway, like, Sybil, I have a single friend. He would be interested in you. Sophie, you're 15. I'm 30. I can't date your friends.
Hey, they won't mind.
That's adorable, though. I think that's really adorable. I think that's cute. That's really cute. It showed that they had a good relationship.
It is cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna talk about sex scenes in the show.
Oh no.
Didn't we just get past this?
Oh no.
Okay.
And
I thought we just did this part.
No.
remember, these are the people who keep rewriting the characters so that they fit the people that are playing them instead of letting the actors fill the characters' shoes.
Yeah. Okay. One recurring location is used in all manner of meeting scenes. The city's tent, quote unquote, if you will, was Littlefinger's brothel. In Westeros, most non-family relationships are transactional and characters are considered foolish and sometimes fatally if they make decisions for love. Brothel scenes in Martin's books and the series also demonstrate yet another way the powerful dominated the powerless. Still, there was another more pragmatic reason for the show's including of brothel scenes. A pay cable drama, especially at the time of Thrones' early seasons, was expected by subscribers to deliver sex language and violence at a level that ad-supported rivals could not. Okay. So basically pay-to-view porn. Early on, Thrones would occasionally package expositionary dialogue with nudity, a practice that blogger Miles McNutt famously dubbed sex position. I'm not joking. That's actually kind of a meme.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend as if
I figured that, but it's still so dang silly.
Wait, can you repeat that again?
Okay. So
yeah. No comment.
I'm gonna pretend as if I somehow did not hear that. Also, nice haircut done.
Thank you.
Level at
Sex position.
Sex position. Oh my gosh.
And it's spelled exactly how I thought it would be.
Sex position.
So are we talking about that really weird scene where these two ladies are going at each other and Littlefinger is expounding his philosophy of life?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I have to tell you guys, but before I got to the show, that was like the scene I was introduced to the show.
Oh,
dang.
For you.
So,
oh my god.
Dragon. So is this on Twitter, White Dragon? Do you want to read that?
Yeah, that was from Twitter.
Okay. He's like, are you up to season 2? The act like, look how successful we were for Blackwater. Even though the chapter spells out we didn't know how to do it at all, so we brought in a film director, Neil Marshall, to do it with no input from us whatsoever. That disconnect. Oh my goodness. Wow.
You know what?
cow.
My friends tried to get me into Game of Thrones at the season at the start of season 2. But I saw a head on a pike and went, nope.
Good, you got
Nope. I hope you guys enjoy it, but it's not for me.
Oh thank God, you avoided the worst. You avoided one of the worst endings ever.
Yeah, I'm so lucky.
I'm jealous.
I am jealous too, because that show destroyed me for like a year. After that ending,
gross.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't watch anything else because it was just so depressing. Like this could have been the bestest ever, and look now what has it become? A worthless show.
Also, kind of the thing is, we have just like we're just kind of like figuring out like the behind the scenes stuff, and it's just like, wait, what is this? What is wrong with this show?
What wrong with the show? What's wrong with these people?
Yeah, it's
these people are not well.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's any more stuff from Twitter, please tell me. We're just pissed that I was wearing helmets with the Battle of Blackwater. Apparently, he had a really good. Oh man,
We need to find that video.
Oh man,
I haven't seen that video.
Wait,
this is new on me.
Mm-hmm.
And what time is it? It's 5.
Yep, almost 6 now.
Yep.
Oh man.
I mean, our last stream about this was like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting really quickly through it though.
Yeah.
Making short work of it.
Yeah.
We're making short work of this abomination.
Yeah. Really quick.
Yeah.
Let me see. Alrighty, so Dave Hill. Oh my gosh, Dave Hill. I hate Dave Hill so much. He is an obnoxious, really, really like unprofessional dude. He was the guy who found up the accidental Cersei Jaime rape scene that wasn't actually a rape scene in the show, even in the show or in the book, but they filmed it so badly that viewers thought it looked like rape.
Is he one of those people that are suck up so far up their own asses they can't even see daylight?
Oh no, he's just an idiot. Like he made like a joke to Sophie Turner that, oh, you're getting a love interest in season 5, and she's like, oh, I get a love interest.
Oh no!
Oh crap!
Listen to my song, you piece of shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
love interest.
so-
Oh fucking hell! What a piece of shit!
Yeah, the
kick
for reference,
Fucking
the quote unquote love interest that Wolf, Balerion, and White Dragon reacted so badly to is possibly the most like psychopathic character in the show, and that's saying something.
He makes Joffrey look.
Season where David Benioff
needs a love interest.
He makes Joffrey look stable by comparison.
This is also the same season. David Benioff said that Sansa was going to be a player in the Game of Thrones.
And it's not
Ramsay.
a love interest. It's not a love interest. There's no love involved whatsoever.
It's an arranged marriage to a serial rapist.
Ramsay,
Who also likes hunting
that?
women for sport, by the way?
Ramsay, I will tear your ass in 2 because it makes me. I will rip you in fucking 2 because it makes me laugh, Bolton.
But the actual look it up. Sansa,
Ramsay
Sophie Turner. Sophie Turner said, they told me I was going to get a love interest, and then like, oh, cool. And then she realized, oh, they didn't actually talk about it with her professionally as adults.
This is not real
at all.
This
Ramsay,
is a fantasy.
but
I'm
to
asleep
give
right
a
now.
Small example of one thing Ramsay Bolton does: he cuts off Theon's dick
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
torturing Theon for weeks on end, keeping sleep deprivation and the usual stuff. And then one day he has 2 women going to seduce him, and then appears out of nowhere like, "Hey, I know how you like your dick." So, bye now.
Yeah, and he also goes hunting women with dogs and flays them and uses their skin for clothing and stuff.
He has his own little woman on the side that is exactly like him, and it's even more messed up in the head. In fact, she's just slightly less messed up in the head as Ramsay, but she's just as crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, she's pretty much like going. It's like in season 5 to demonstrate it. She holds a bow and arrow. She holds like an arrow towards Sansa and says, "Like, he doesn't really need your entire body. He just needs your room, and that's all he needs. Like literally your room." So, I think about keeping the rest of your face pretty.
Oh, this next bit is so awful.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Worse than that.
Okay, I guess. Okay, I guess. Okay, so Dave Hill, who's not a professional dude. So people think brothel scenes must be fun to shoot as there's beautiful naked people running around simulating sex acts. They're actually very stressful because it's technical and detail oriented. Oh, yeah. She's a child actor. I mean, yeah, she was 18 at that point, but still. Yeah, kind of. It's really bad. It's bad. Sex on a set is so incredibly awkward because it's obviously all fake and you're stopping and starting and getting the angles. It's not like being in a strip club. It's like being in the locker room of a strip club.
What is this analogy?
What are locker rooms like? Oh, no, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I've never been in one, so I wouldn't know.
Is this some like Law and Order shit going on in their fucking locker rooms or something?
It's like being a strip club. It's like being in a locker room of a strip club.
Their locker rooms are a strip club. What the fuck goes on in their fucking locker rooms?
We don't know.
I don't want to know either.
Do they get taken advantage in the locker room?
We got.
Did they drop the soap?
That's a prison thing.
Okay.
Once you drop the soap in prison, your ass is gone.
Okay. A lot of the days you're spent looking at extras. You're always making the extras look all right and doing the right things. And sometimes the extras go a little too far. You'd say, no, you can't be distracting from the action.
A little too far. Oh, oops! I just knocked my glasses off. You said that.
How is this book like a defense of them? It is brain error.
am not comfortable in the least around it. No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a reason why you hire porn stars for things like this.
And they did. And they did. Sybil Kikali is a porn actress from Turkey.
Yeah.
Well, at least they did something, right?
Yeah. I thought she was German. She was born in Turkey.
She's ethnically Turkish, but she's German.
Wait, okay, that's weird, or I'm just blind and stupid.
No, Turks have been in Germany for like a long time now.
She even says that she's born. He even says that she's German born, so parents must have been Turkish.
Yeah.
They've been in Germany for like decades, for forever. They've been Turks in Germany.
Okay. This is interesting. So Indira Varma talking about like one of her brothel scenes. She probably loved doing it. It was so decadent. We worked with a great girl who was totally open about showing her body in a way that was so liberating and brilliant. Not in a pornographic way, but just in an eloquent way. And I wish we could all be like that and feel so comfortable about ourselves. So we had to do a brothel scene where she was going down on me and snogging another girl, and they were both naked, and it was silly and fun.
Yes, it sounds like right.
Oh no, I can't wait for like the season 5 with the Snansakes and shit. I can't wait that shit.
Oh, we're skipping to season 6. Gemma Whalen talking about one of her scenes in her brothels. Apparently she was very nervous. It was strange to be thrown together with a stranger, but yet suddenly so intimate. I was involved with a breast and a bottom, so that was quite overwhelming. She was such a nice girl, and we had a good giggle, and then it became more relaxed. We made it work. Because she was so kind and made me feel comfortable. able to feel like I could help myself to someone's body in that way. You want to feel like you have permission, but also feel like you're not hesitating and being authentic. Which was tricky to navigate. Okay, that's interesting.
Little TMI here.
Yeah, very TMI. We don't need to know this information. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, this is unnecessary, so can you please not tell us?
Yeah, can you not do that, please?
This is in the. I wish I were kidding about this book. Oh my gosh!
Please,
Good God!
Keep that away from us. Keep you could keep it away from us, please.
Yeah.
Just wait, it gets better.
It gets better than this.
Better.
Oh no, that's not good.
It gets better.
Done.
It gets fucking better. Okay.
Right
I knew as soon
now,
as I said that, that's what's going to happen.
Continue your thought. Continue your thought, Wolf. Continue your thought.
Whenever Dunn sighs like that, that's a bad sign. A very, very bad sign. A sign that everyone should run away for their goddamn lives.
Yeah, let's run away screaming.
Yeah, run away screaming.
Okay, so Esme Bianco, crash dining and religious exercise. There was a lot of that going on for those scenes. Okay, so during the first season, the show's most infamous brothel scene, when Littlefinger, we referenced this earlier, delivers a menacing monologue while ordering Ross and another brothel woman named Armeka to perform a rather vigorous sex act.
Oh, can I interrupt for a second? There's an interesting comment by Yelena Yelisevich in the chat. Wait, having permission is the opposite of being authentic to him? Did the Jude just admit not having consent is authentic to him?
Okay, so this is Gemma Whalen talking about like how like she was in her brothel scene, and like she said like she wanted to feel like she has permission to touch, but also that she's not hesitating and being authentic.
Yeah,
it was tricky. So it's
if you're
weird.
going to a brothel, then consent is normally implied.
Yeah. So
no touchies in the brothel.
Oh my goodness! This is wow.
Uh-oh.
It gets better.
Oh no! Oh, this is great.
It gets
awesome.
fucking better. Okay.
Oh no!
Oh
Help!
Prepare your buttholes.
Everyone, get out! Run! Go!
Okay.
Let's go to the hill. Scream bloody murder. Call 911. Everybody,
fly on the other side of the wall now.
We have such sights to show you.
Oh no!
Oh no! Getting more and more sinister each minute.
All right, the suspense is killing me for realsies.
Let me out! Let me out!
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Your scritches.
So, according to Esme Bianco, it was very physically exhausting. It was boiling hot on set, and I was pouring in sweat. The choreography was fairly basic, but there was a lot of movement, italicized, going on. I'm trying to remember things like, okay, at what point is Sahara's butt meant to be there, and where's my leg supposed to be?
Okay, this is TMI. Seriously, TMI here.
Hence why I said we have such sights to show you.
Yes.
Okay.
And with every word, I am more and more glad that I never got into this damn show.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I don't have the rope.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Okay, apparently they had a lot of... Okay, according to the director, Daniel Minahan, they had a lot of crew shooting that scene in Malta. I remember having to chase away people who were hiding in the back watching Sahara and Esme go at it.
Why is this?
Were the showrunners among them?
I don't know.
There were no. It wasn't the potential pornography. It was their facial expressions they were getting on about.
Okay, so Esme said it was supposed to be a closed set. I look behind me and there's 3 guys all holding one flag over a light. I'm buck naked. I'm like, hang on a second. Since when does it take 3 people to hold that? They need to leave.
This is very important. This pole is very heavy, you see.
Yeah.
Where's the rope?
Oh my
I
gosh.
need to find the rope.
I mean, we don't know how heavy that thing was, you know.
Yeah,
So we can't judge.
John, where did you hide the rope?
This is really
I believe
weird.
he gave the rope to me.
Yeah.
And no, Wolf,
Okay.
you cannot have it.
Okay.
Aw.
So Littlefinger's speech is kind of about his characterization. It talks about his history with Ned Stark, foreshadows his eventual betrayer, ale of Ned Stark. Do you know what I learned losing that duel? Littlefinger asks. I learned I'll never win. Not that way. It's their games, their rules. I'm never not going to fight them. I'm going to screw them. That's what I want. No, that's who I am. And only in admitting what we are can we get what we want. Daniel Minahan. I feel like Littlefinger's speech elevated it. They wanted it to be shocking, but it's also a window into his character. It operates on very different levels. It's pornographic, it's humorous, it's touching, it's menacing. It does these hairpin turns. It reminds me of that scene in American Psycho and the 2 prostitutes. To me, it was an homage to that. Aidan Gillen was unflappable. His head was in the game, as he was a very good sport. Unfortunately, when you look up lesbian fisting, now her name pops up. What the fetch?
Okay,
That must be lovely.
Well, it's been nice talking with you a lot. It's nice been dissecting this book, but I have got to go. Apparently, we are starting set early now.
What?
Okay.
What's going on?
See ya.
But literally, like, they use... So, apparently, like, when you look up Esme Bianco lesbian... When you look up lesbian fisting, Esme Bianco's name plays up.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time.
Lesbian fisting. Oh my gosh. They actually, like,
Okay.
said this in a book. Why?
I would have several questions, but I'm going, so...
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Litter Wolf.
Have fun.
And I will leave this ring here.
Crazy Wolf. You.
I have better things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
They did
would
not
they?
take any
He has
care.
better things to do than fisting women.
Yeah.
Lesbians.
Yeah, they should not have lied to her about the closed scene. That's not ethical. That's really
My
bad.
whole thing
No,
is,
it's not.
why are we bringing this up in the first place?
Yeah. So
Because
one of-
it's hot.
So Dan White's talking about one of the benefits of that George has in the books is that he can show what people are thinking. They need to find other ways to do that. The brothel workers were the only people that Littlefinger could talk to about who he was, what he's doing, because they're powerless and he can afford to let down his guard long enough to talk to them. Gillen talked about
But
the
why would he?
monologue. Yeah, I don't know why he would do that. That makes... yeah, I have no idea. So the monologue and the background action were one and the same, really. He actually wishes that he had pushed a little bit harder with the idea in terms of simple physical distance, but didn't. There wasn't too much time for messing around with the schedule once ideas weren't right anyway. Aren't always right anyways. One of the Lions, walking around on Belfast, and he was having a lot of ideas. Realized for the first time it was all about Catelyn. So whatever Esme and Sahara were doing at his instruction, he was always going backward 20 years in reverie, melancholic, turning bitter. Finally playing many scenes, showing as much skin myself in the past. I saw it as a practicality and nothing that would faze me personally, and it wouldn't faze Littlefinger. Esme Bianco was her first time working with Aidan, and it was the only time I've been completely Star Trek to the point where I couldn't form a coherent sentence. I don't know why that happened with Aidan. He has this calm, mysterious, striking presence. I do this full-on nude scene with him. While my makeup's Stark. Esme, he's a really nice guy. Stop being weird and say hello. I think that Aidan realized what was going on because he came up and was like, "Hello, Esme, how are you?" Like, very deliberate. Okay. Gillen was later asked about Littlefinger's sex symbol allure during an interview with Collider.
What?
TMI.
What? Wait, did I hear that correctly?
Gillen
to
was
clarify
asked
that.
about Littlefinger's sex symbol allure. It's like he's and
to
Littlefinger
me.
and Gillen was like, I'm not aware of being a sex symbol. I'm kind of surprised by that. It's interesting given that some of the strands of the story were unsavory. Could be seen that way, and Littlefinger's relationship with Sansa Stark is quite unorthodox. Yeah, it is. It's freaking creepy in the books, and it's freaking creepy in the show.
Well, at least they're accurate with the
Yes, they are.
relationship.
Though the weirdest thing is he pawns her off to the Boltons, something that he would never do in the book. It's a really dumb move. So, HBO, in 2018, okay, this is an interesting jump. HBO became the first network to require a new type of crew member for all scenes involving sex and or nudity, the intimacy coordinator, a person tasked with ensuring the well-beings of actors during sensitive scenes. But during Game of Thrones early scenes, actors in nude scenes on TV shows were largely left to advocate for themselves. What?
That says really, really bad things about Game of
That's
Thrones.
7 years. That's 7 years. That's not. That's just. So basically, Game of Thrones invented the intimacy coordinator.
That's what it sounds like.
Wow. I had no idea. I thought that was a thing for a while. Apparently, the intimacy coordination is
Yeah.
Is that it's and now they're putting in intimacy. It's only been a thing for 2 years, which I think good. I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with it being Lord of the Rings. You don't need an intimacy coordinator on Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah, because Lord of the Rings doesn't have scenes like that.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest films in all of freaking film history.
Yeah. How the fetch did HBO let itself do this? I don't know. It seems like it's a common thing. HBO and Starz were kind of the shows that had really, really gratuitous nudity. Yeah. So
I'm glad I never watched shows like that.
I'm gonna have to go watch Lord of the Rings again and get this bad taste out of my mouth.
Oh my gosh!
What?
This is terrible.
What have you stumbled upon this time? Good
okay, just wait.
It gets better. It gets fucking better. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, so
the hype is real.
According to Esme Bianco, none of the stuff and none of that entered the conversation. But the director worked with them the day before shooting to create some cinematography, figure out how it would be shot, so they'd be more comfortable. Basically, what an intimacy coordinator does now. And they needed those conversations prior to throwing actors into the deep end and letting them figure it out on set. So they were figuring it out on set. Wait, what?
They were figuring it out on set?
Oh my god. No.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that HBO was not sued over some of the stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
That was done.
Yeah, I'm betting.
So shooting. Okay. Apparently, not all the brothel scenes were awkward and strenuous. There were moments of levity, like when Diana Rigg stepped into Littlefinger's house of ill repute. Why are you writing like this? It's really weird. So according to
House of Ill Repute? That sounds like something I would put in a novel.
Yeah.
Not in an academic book.
Is this an academic book?
So when they were preparing for when Olenna meets Littlefinger, Diana Rigg looked around and said, "Shouldn't there be more sex toys? Shouldn't there be sheepskin condoms scattered about?"
Sheepskin condoms? What?
Why is sheepskin particular? Well, never mind. I don't need the answer to that. Never mind.
I don't either. Oh, 4.
Knowledge.
Oh
Where does
no.
it say sheepskin? I can't see it.
We were playing before a scene where Olenna sheepskin condoms. What?
We appreciated her knowledge of ancient sexual devices.
No comment. Okay.
I need to know more about these.
I think I'm gonna need brain bleach after this.
Well, that's the end. We end right at 3 hours even.
Yay!
Great.
We're at chapter.
I am scarred for life.
We're at chapter 8.
My soul's destroyed. My soul's destroyed now.
Oh, nice. We're
I
at
am
chapter
dying
8.
inside, even though I'm already dead. How the hell did you manage that?
Yeah.
Well, wonders never cease.
Oh my gosh. So good night for me. Thank you. So kudos for whoever pronounced my Slavic name very well. Nice. Good job. Thank you, King Emperor Penguin. Game of Thrones, its creation, were both utterly degenerate. Yes, exactly. That is true.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
And
We
don't
just
forget
barely-
Benioff. Don't
Yeah,
forget what Benioff said about being the pervy side of the audience.
Yeah, I represent the perv side of the audience.
Oh.
Hey, don't get me started. I can tell you all about Daenerys' little dirty secrets.
Yeah. Well, everybody, it has been fun. Thank you for the high viewership this time. It's been very good. I hope that we were able to convey without directly quoting it and kind of summarizing kind of the thoughts there. That everybody was able to get the information without actually quoting the book unless actually necessary.
And the story. This book is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is a show.
Yeah. It feels like a hit piece. Like it's saying, we didn't have an intimacy coordinator.
We didn't know what we were doing. We
just
people
let them
killed.
on. We
Feel
let them
sorry
figure
for
out.
us.
We let them figure it out on set.
Yeah.
We almost bankrupted the company.
We almost killed.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I have to say thank you all. I do have to say, in terms of announcements, my next book, War of the Dragons, will be coming out later this week, probably sometime around Thursday. I'm currently editing it. I read a section earlier this week, and I'm probably going to read another section next week since it was rather the showing was quite low. I'm now going to start with instead of doing a here for every live stream, I'm going to put at everyone so we get some more people in the chat. Because otherwise we're only going to get a certain number of people on. So
I think we need to start instead of Game of Thrones gaslighting piece. It should be called a Game of Thrones hit piece.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my
hit
theory.
Piece against self-incriminating hit piece.
Yeah.
Yep. Confirmed.
Yeah, it's very. This feels like a.
Clamp your god, you fucking moron!
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's. I guess they wanted
to make him angry.
Yes.
Don't want it. You queen.
Yeah.
And they've accomplished something because I'm not a fan and I'm mad.
They managed to destroy an entire universe in one day. Yeah, that's really great.
Oh yeah.
Quite the accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will conclude things there, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Since my my thing actually my dentist appointment got moved, so we'll be able to stream tomorrow on
Okay.
Lovecraft.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's because you don't have the Night King. I mean, we all whites get all free dentist appointments. I mean, look at me. I'm all white.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. And,
Yeah.
Well, we will see you guys later. Bye.
Like and subscribe.
Holy shit. Okay, we're going.